in the Bet2Ball European Cricket League. It will be our final day from this tournament. 4 matches. Wonderful format there with the Eliminator. We'll be saying goodbye to one more team after that first game, and then the top 2 playing the qualifier. And then eventually the 4th game of the day will be the final. It's nicely stroked from Iftikhar Hussain, just timed it beautifully. Finds the gap on that offside just behind point, and wouldn't say a much needed boundary for Brigade, but they just want to make sure they can put a total up around the 60 odd range that they'll feel pretty confident defending against Albi Zelmi.
Yeah, look, they could do with somebody like Hussain getting into form. He's a powerful batter and a very good one of that as well. If he can get his form here, Murdoch's batting well. We all know about the ability of MacArthur. Start to get key players performing well, going into the finals day. Anything is possible. Look, when I was in the fan zone, a number of people were asking, why is first playing second tomorrow? Maybe you can explain the importance of that match.
Well, after this ball, we'll have a crack at doing it. Sal, been a reasonable over from him so far, but just drags that wide. So it's a function of the format we use for that finals day. So the teams that finish first and second essentially get a double chance. It's not a direct knockout. So that first game, the winner of the 1v2 game, which will be the second game of the day, goes straight through to the final. As Sal comes in a little bit short of a length, but should just be a single on the assumption that the fielders get a scoot around and cut off the opportunity for a 2. So the winner of that 1v2 game goes straight through to the final, but the loser gets a second chance, whereas the teams that qualify 3 and 4, it's sudden death for them the whole way through the day, and they'll have to win 3 contests to become the Kings of Europe. Smacked back down the ground with some power from Murdoch, but fades the bowler's hands, but not the hands of the fielder. Down at long off.
Yeah, that's it, the captain there. Nice to see this man in the action. Afsal. Just gone a little bit too wide here. Sort of, he's been balled in for this one. I like what he's trying to do. He's trying to get that ball just inside that guideline, the wide guideline there for the umpire. Just going a little bit too wide there this time, but at least he has a plan in mind.
Oh, drops short of a length, and I'm sure that plan wasn't being pumped over the cow corner boundary for a 6, but Hussain is timing the ball nicely since he's arrived at the crease. He's up to 12. Brigade now 37 for 1 with 1 ball left to go in this 3rd over. Rico, they're just starting to get some momentum.
Yeah, they certainly are. That was a nice shot. And one thing we do know about Hussain is if you bowl short to him or anything on the legs, he does put it away. He's very powerful on the leg side.
Decent length ball, swatted across the line by Hussain, and he'll take another single. He'll keep the strike as we finish the 3rd over. Brigade 38 for 1. So the Irish champions feel like they're probably setting a pretty good platform here. That projected score, it's to 63. They can get to around that level. I think with their bowling attack, they'd be reasonably confident of managing to suppress the Albi Zelmi batting lineup, but this is a pressure game, and we know that these sort of contests do funny things even to the best of players, Rico.
Yeah, they certainly do. And one thing I will say, I mean, you're saying about the score they get to. Remember that last match for Brigade? They did score what you would have thought, 62, just losing the 1 wicket, but still weren't able to hold on for a victory. So they will be cautious of that, but they do know that they've got to not just get the runs on the board, but they've got to be much better and clinical in the field. Well, at the moment they're being clinical with the bat. That's another one that's gone into the overgoes. Watch out for the snakes as you try and find this one. Hussain, he goes aerial again, and it's 6 more.
I've got to question this matchup, Rico. I think if you ask Iftikhar Hussain, you've got to hit a 6, what would you like to face? Then probably a little bit of looping off spin on off and middle stump would be his choice. He plays that shot where he gets down low with ease. He's hit a number of 6s throughout the last couple of days. Don't like this matchup for the Swedes. Pushed wide, and it's moved a little bit away from the batsman, and the umpire spreads the arms.
Yeah, disappointed Azam there to see this one called. He thinks he's done enough, but look, it just takes a bit of the line, and the umpires have been very consistent.
Well, another one where he gets to step inside. It was a better line from Khalil, but it's still been dispatched. And wow, the sirens are sounding for Brigade. 2 sixes in this fourth over. And Iftikhar Hussain, he's an experienced campaigner, but he is putting this campaign on his shoulders.
Yeah, he's going aerial, and he's going big. He's going to town, and he's looking to take on Azam Khalil. 13. Oh, and he's looking to go again. Has he got this one right? Oh, it's been spilled by the fielder. And that's disappointing. That's going to hurt. That could be really expensive. It's Sami Khalil that puts it down, and he's been very good today in the field. And that's the first blip on his record.
Did pretty well, made good ground, just couldn't execute the catch going down low. So one's dropped wide of off stump. Murdoch can only just cut it out to man coming in from the point boundary. That's Usman Jabbar. Still a few nerves in that Brigade players tent, Rico, that don't feel like they've quite got the score on to take it out of the reach of Ali Zalmi now. As good running of the first from Murdoch. He was trying to press for the second, but Hussain just fairly casual getting up to the other end, but he's up to 27 off 10.
Yeah, I mean, you can understand the concerns, not just from Brigade, I think from any team that's playing Al Bazami, because you know, whatever you score, it'll get close.
Whoa, that's gone straight in to his wheelhouse, and it's been launched into the Cardimer Oval orbit. Another stunning strike from David Murdoch to end the fourth over. Brigade race along to 60 for 1, and that over has gone for 22. And poor Khalil, that was not what he wanted to deliver for his team when he stepped up to the bowling crease.
Well, that's a big shot, and that could go. Well, that was going into DJ zone. I wanted to do a little bit of scratching. It's 6 more, and they'll be a little bit happier with that one. That's a good way to finish that over. It's an expensive one, expensive over. But look, where do you go from here? I mean, they've got 60 on the board, 6 more deliveries. What they want to, well, I think about 75, and they'll probably think, okay, we should be able to defend this and get this victory.
Yeah, in fairness to Brigade, they're under pressure in this game. It's almost a must-win for them. At least they can secure their path through to the Final Four tomorrow. But they also want to give themselves the opportunity to finish in one of those higher placings. Certainly, just for confidence purposes, I don't think they're going to catch Packeye Care or Tunbridge Wells at the moment. But if they can get themselves into third place, maybe it just gives them a bit of a psychological lift when they come to play tomorrow.
Yeah, I think you're right there. So we join the action. And first ball from Usman Jabbar. It's played out into the leg side area. They'll take the single. Yeah, I think it's very true. And I think Brigade also, I don't think they will panic, you know. They never panicked in the group stages. They know that, and they will believe that their form has been more or less consistent. They haven't really had a terrible game. As you see, it's swing and a miss, but it will be called a wide, and Jabbar can't believe it. Yeah, they haven't had a terrible game. It's been close. They haven't really been outplayed, but they'll be believing that maybe with the like, say, perhaps Brescia, that whose form sort of is really hot and cold, that they're a bit more consistent, and they'll fancy themselves to maybe, like you say, to take that third spot.
Oh, another one into the hitting zone, but it's slightly off speed. Fielder coming in quickly. Oh, it's gone a mile in the air, but it's dropped on the 30-metre circle. And Taz Qureshi, even one of the better athletes in this Albi Zelmi side, he couldn't make it to complete the catch. But I suspect actually this move of David Murdoch up to the top of the order, Rico, it could actually be a really, really big strategic decision in the context of Brigade's tournament. Obviously, it all comes down in terms of final placings to what happens tomorrow, and I like him being up at the top of the order with McCarter.
Yeah, I think it's been a masterstroke, really, from Andrew Britton. He seems to have dropped himself down. He's sort of accepted the fact that he probably isn't performing with the bat. Murdoch is doing the job, so I don't think that's going to change.
Swatted out, doesn't quite beat the fielder who's coming around from long off. Good bit of fielding, actually. They were looking for 2, trying to get Murdoch back on strike. He's thought about it 2 or 3 different times. Not the cleanest bit of work, but well backed up in the end.
Well, I think the bowler here, Jabbar, this is a bit of a hot potato for him, because he gets his hand on it, he hits him high up on the wrist, and well, he's jumping Jack Flash. And ouch, that hurts, he says.
Lucky to get away with that. Intigo Hussain charging down the pitch. He was looking for the second, but he's gone over on his backside, just tumbled across some of that ripped up grass on the side of the pitch, and they're only going to take the one.
Can they get to the 70? Gervais bowled pretty well here so far. Just 5 off the over.
Another big high strike from Murdoch, but this time it's gotten more distance than it has height, and that's a great way to finish off their 5 overs for Brigade. They end up 72 for 1, and that has to go down as one of the more substantial partnerships we've seen this week, Rico, after the loss of Graham McCarter to the run out by Tuscareshi in the second over. Murdoch and Hussain have controlled the remainder of that innings and actually did very well, kept the boundaries coming with regularity, ran between the wickets with hustle. It was a good performance.
It was a good performance. They came together, these two, with a score of 16. So they put a 50-plus partnership together. And this is what I was saying about Brigade. For the second time, they've put good runs on the board, only losing the 1 wicket. 72 this time for 1. Last time around it was 62 for 1. But this time, the difference is they've got to defend it. And, well, Abbas Army, it didn't start well for them. That first one, the boundary, going through the fielder, Shahid Ali. Well, he'll be looking to make up for it with the bat, no doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. Few of the fielders just made errors in that first over, but he was a man who certainly didn't make an error. Taz Qureshi, he's been inspirational for Albi Zelmi. Murdoch slamming his bat into the turf, realising he's run out his illustrious partner, but he certainly made up for it. Looked like he was standing on the golf driving range at one stage, just bombing a few one-woods. He is a powerful striker, and he was joined at the crease by Iftikhar Hussain, who is back in batting form. They gave him plenty of balls and off and middle stump and couldn't complete the catch to send him back to the pavilion. Murdoch kept swinging and swinging big, peppering the lounge of the fans on a couple of occasions and finishing off the innings with a mighty maximum, taking his Brigade squad to a total of 72 for 1 off their 5 overs. And I suspect, Rico, that Brigade Brains Trust would be pretty happy with the score they've managed to put on there.
Yeah, I think they'd be very happy. There was lots of woos and wows from their supporters, and a lot of it came because of the batting of Murdoch. And I say Murdoch, as we say, continues to impress. 33 not out, and though he was disappointed in being involved with that run-up of McCarter, he made up for it by batting really well. And as I was saying, I've always said I like to see him up in the order, and he's starting to prove dividends why he belongs there. And well, when we look at that, there's no wickets for the bowlers. Of course, the only wicket was courtesy of that run-out. And well, again, they didn't bowl badly. I mean, against Khalil, he was taken on by Hussain, and Hussain did get the better of him. The tidy stuff from Moman, and there, even Jabba there at the end bowled well. And Taz Qureshi always impresses, but they were still, we're talking about Albi's Army, they're not going to go down, and they're going to make a fight of this, but this time, are they going to end up being on the winning side? I mean, at the moment, you could probably say that they've made losing a bit of a habit.
Yeah, they have, just losing some close ones as well. But we look at their previous game against Tunbridge Wells, Rico. They were chasing 72 and made it all the way to 66 for 3. So there is some quality in this batting lineup. And if they ever need that quality to surface, well, now is the time, because they are fighting for their European Cricket League live. So when we come back after the break, it will be the Swedish champions LB Zelmi trying to chase down a target of 73 to overhaul the score from Brigade. Please join myself, Andrew Ryan, and Rico Full for the second innings in a few moments. European cricket fans, welcome back to the Cuddamore Oval. It's time for the second innings of what has been a feast of European Cricket League action both yesterday and today. We are into, believe it or not, match 16. This is the 6th match of day 2 of finals week for the European Cricket League, and this is a big 5 overs coming up for the Swedish champions. It is Alby. They've sent out Ali and Khalil to open the batting. This is must-win stuff for them. Macbeth with the first over for Brigade. Short ball, Ali's got a top edge. It's run all the way down to the boundary. Well, he looked in great discomfort with that first ball. It was a well-directed short one from Macbeth, but Ali has profited handsomely for first delivery.
That'll do. Need runs on the board. And if you get a bit of luck, maybe they deserve a little bit of luck, Al-Bazami. That goes for 4 runs. Macbeth, I don't think he'll be too deterred at the moment. He comes back in.
Nice ball, a little bit of out shape, but he might end up with the second one. Oh, that's an unlucky moment for Oshin Reynolds. Saw him take a very, very good one over his shoulder today, running back all the way to the boundary between point and third man. Ali working overtime on the outside of that bat. In the end, he can probably tell the skipper that he saved a boundary. Good effort to desperately dive after that ball.
Yeah, he does brilliantly well. I mean, it's unfortunate not to take a catch. If he takes that, that would have been outstanding. You've seen some magical ones, but he does stop the boundary.
Another short one, hooked around the corner. Ali sent it to the boundary. Well, 2 shaky looking shots from the first 2 balls, but he punishes Ryan Macbeth on that occasion. 2 short. Much needed boundary, and Alby Zelmi off to a flyer.
Yeah, Graham MacArthur here. His turn to do the diving, and you can see there, fielding there. Very cautious, Kitty, but lucky Choka, and it's a great start here at the moment. And Alby Zelmi, they will believe, they always believe, but will they get to the target this time round?
Full toss on leg stump, and it gets put to the boundary again. Keep an eye on the umpire. I don't think we're going to have the no ball call. It'll be good to see from side on, but well put away from Ali, and that's consecutive boundaries. Ryan Macbeth losing both his line and his length.
Yeah, I mean, this is a full toss. The umpires seem to be pretty happy with the height on that one, but again, not trying to hit it too hard. It's a nice shot. He knows where the gap is in the field, puts it away, so Ali made a good start here.
That equation looking much better for Albion Zelby now. 59 off 26. Oh, that was in the slot. Ali trying to dispatch it over the boundary. The only thing that he can do, though, is an inside edge, and it crashes into his stumps. Well, after an excellent start, the first batsman down. Albion Zelby now 14 for 1.
Yeah, good comeback from the bowler. And pitches is up more. It was there for the shot. He doesn't get himself in the correct position, and you could probably see there as well that the head wasn't quite there, and then a little bit of a unusual celebration. And Ali is disappointed with himself. Gave his team the perfect start, but then he finds a way to get himself out, playing that on, and it will be the captain, Rahil Khan, that makes his way out there now.
Well, it's a shame to throw away what was a great start by Shahed Ali. That ball was there for the taking. No defensive fielder, straight down the ground. It should have been launched for 6, and they would have had Alby Zelmi in a great position after this first over. As it is, he's had to walk back to the pavilion. And with 1 wicket down, the wicket's not a huge concern, as we've said, Rico, but just every time you need to get a batsman to restart, you've now got new batsmen at the crease. You've had Azam Khalil, who hasn't faced a ball. You've got to take advantage of those times when your eye's in. Another one that's in the slot, but it's been hit very high. Fielder coming in from mid-off takes an easy catch, and after a traumatic start, Ryan Macbeth's picked up consecutive wickets to finish his over. Alby Zelmi now 2 down with only 14 on the board, and that's the end of the first over.
Oh, more disappointment from the captain of Al-Bazami. He goes for the big shot straight away, but it goes more up than distance. And well, the captain hits it, and it's the captain, Andrew Britton, that takes the catch, and that's going to be a slow and, well, painful walk back for Khan. Just things just not gone his way, have they, this week? And he's going to have plenty now to sit and ponder about. Can somebody who's one of these batters get them out of this hole?
Well, I've termed it Fluctuation Friday, Rico, and it certainly turned that way again. 14 runs off the first 4 balls of this innings, and Zelmi were flying, but then Macbeth comes up with wickets off consecutive balls, reasserts Brigade into the prime position. Just dragged down short by Ryan Barr. So it's a double Ryan attack. I certainly won't be protesting that.
We saw some more lazy running. This time it's from Azim Khalil. And it'll be interesting to see if this hits. I think he would have been out. You know, you can see that there's a big groan when the throw comes in.
Only a bit of a lull over the ground now as the Brigade side. Well, they've just been able to turn the screws a touch after that flying start. So Heavy on strike. He was good yesterday. Swung around and he's timed that wonderfully. Tough place to pull the ball from. Got it in an awkward spot, but has made some great contact. Super strike.
Yeah, good hit this. And Sahibi, he's sort of yo-yoed up and down this batting order. We've seen him come up opening. One thing he does do is hit it well. What he doesn't do well, though, is running. And these two have had their issues when they're together. Let's see if they've ironed them out. As Barr comes, Ryan Barr, that is, comes back into Sahibi.
Just a little bit short of a length. Sahibi trying to heave it over to the leg side. Not a man who tries to engage the offside of the field too much with bat in hand. It's a good reply though from Ryan Barr. It's a pretty imposing presence with that well-maintained beard. Tats down the right arm. Speaking of visual treats, the Zelmi supporters area. That's on a length. Zahabi can't take full toll, and it looks like Iftikhar Hussain coming in from the mid-wicket boundary. That's a really good catch, continuing some of the excellent fielding that we've seen here this week. And after a bright start, Zahabi walking back to the pavilion, 4 off 3, and another wicket down for Zelmi.
Yeah, I mean, Hussain has been sensational in that zone. I mean, he's just been left to cover it. And time after time after time, he takes the catches no matter where that ball lands. And, well, it's must be great for him as well, when his family's here watching, his kids and his wife, and he's producing for them as well. Remember his story? Well, last time we had them here, the group stages, and we were talking about Hussain on Valentine's Day because he moved to Ireland and fell in love. And married his Irish sweetheart, and the rest was history. And he's been in Ireland 20 years, and he certainly helped to develop the game in Ireland. Does a lot of work with the juniors as well, and he's enjoying his time out there, and he's been well supported by his family and also the supporters from the Brigade fan club.
Another decent length ball from Ryan Barr. So after a shaky start, he's got his line and length. And Zelmi, by virtue of the last 5 or 6 balls, just falling behind this run rate. Qureshi's come out to join Khalil. Qureshi actually batted really well in that game earlier today when they were chasing a small target against Brescia. Was the only man to really get on top of the bowling. Final delivery from Barr coming up. That's just drifted to mid-wicket. Hussain comes around, takes an excellent catch. Well held. He's a high-quality cricketer, Iftikhar Hussain. Another great moment for his family. I'm surprised he didn't give them the signal as he ran past, but a wonderful moment for both him and the Brigade squad. And that's a very, very good over for Ryan Barr. Pair of wickets for each of these bowlers, and Zelmi, they are now 19 for 4 after 2 overs.
Say no more. And Hussain just does what he does best. What a fielder, what a player. And well, already, I'm going to call it early, it's going to be my player of the match. He performed magnificently with the bat, putting runs on the board, 30 off just 13 deliveries, and now he's taken 2 stunning catches.
Yeah, really, really good quality field. Just a tremendous all-round player, isn't he, Rico? And as Brigade getting closer and closer to locking their position up in this tournament, as see plenty of activity in the fan zone. Isn't there some energy there at the moment?
There's some energy there. Talking about energy, there's a nice few Victorias there, I noticed. And well, Purple Pepper, shout out to them as well, doing the catering. And, made a lovely breakfast back for me this morning with the extra bacon. So thank you very much to Purple Pepper, our catering partners, as well as, of course, Sylvester Victoria. And the man at the moment comes on the bowl as if he really needs to do anything else in this match. Give it to Hussain.
Well, he's got a golden set of hands out there on the outfield, but unfortunately not a golden arm. Just a first ball full toss, and Khalil has dispatched it with authority.
Andrew's got a big smile on his face. Yeah, this has been well hit. And oh, there you go. You see, I don't know why he's smiling. He should have taken out left-handed, one-handed.
Oh, well for the wicket keeper. Should have taken that one. That should have been sending Khalil back to the pavilion, but as it is, Hussain would have liked to have a wicket after being dispatched for a Maximo first ball. That one's the outside off stump, beautifully struck. Well, Khalil suggesting there's still some life in this Albie Zelmi body yet. He's hit 2 sixes off the first 3 balls of this over. They'll need a lot more, but it is not out of reach if he gets going.
This is a cracking shot. It really is. He takes a little risk, doesn't he, with the keeper standing up, but his footwork was absolutely spot on, and then well, he was clinical in dispatching that. 6 runs.
Nice to see a player hitting over cover too, Rico, instead of trying to heave it back to mid-wicket. One's outside off stump again. Drilled it, but ball's slowed up along the turf, and Nick Ray rolling around from cover secures the ball and keeps it to a single, which brings Mirav Zal on to strike. They'll be happy to see Khalil up the non-striker's end. Lets the ball up. Avzil swings across the line. Might be looking for 2, but fielding corpse from Brigade. They've got some good arms in that outfield. It's just the single.
You talk about good arms. I mean, as you know, I went for a little cycle in the gym yesterday, and Afzal was there, and he was pumping away. He's got some good arms as well. I'll be hoping to get some power in his shots. He's at the non-striker's end at the moment.
Can't imagine they're as good as your calves, Rico. As Hussain drops a little bit short, Khalil smokes it to the boundary, but it can't beat the fielder coming there. I think that's the skipper, Britton, with his second catch of the innings. Moves around well from the long off position, and the school kids up on the hill. They show some appreciation for some well-crafted off-spin bowling and some excellent fielding in the outfield. And Brigade will be happy to see the back of Azam Khalil. He was starting to look very, very threatening. But as it is, Albie Zelmi now 33 for 5.
Yeah, Azam Khalil. They depend a lot on him, don't they? They need him to perform well. He plays some nice shots, some attractive shots as well, especially those out on the offside, but he just felt the need to go after Hussain and tries to go over Britton, but not able to. And Andrew Britton, the captain of the Champions of Ireland Brigade, takes another comfortable catch.
Well, we've got a moment here, Rico. It might be a nice acknowledgement to our friends from the Tunbridge Wells Cricket Club, who generously have tried to pump up our waistlines a little bit by donating each of you, Vinny and myself, a lovely packet of fudge Florentines. As first ball, I think we've got a stumping there. Pretty sharp bit of work from Alford. Looks like Mirav Zal's just dragged his back foot forward in trying to play that shot, and that's a nifty bit of work from the wicket keeper. Good start from Dave Barr, first ball wicket.
Yeah, great work this from Simon. And I wonder if they'll have a look at this again with the gloves. What do you reckon? What are your thoughts on that?
You're talking being in front of the wicket? I'm not going to overdo this point now that Mr. Maximo is not in the commentary box. It certainly is one of his favourites. Tell you what though, that is close, and it is certainly worth a look. Very sharp bit of work, and the speed of taking the bails off was excellent glove work, but tell you what, he wouldn't be that far off. batsman just hanging around. The umpire's checking the decision here, and the finger goes up, so the benefit of the doubt. It's not go to the batsman on that occasion. They've determined that he's taken the ball in the appropriate spot. It executes the stumping, and you've got a happy Dave Barr at the bowling crease.
Yeah, very, very close, but they've had a look at it again. And the third umpire, Jerome Peters, seems to be happy with it. Yeah, very, very, very close, isn't it? But yeah, I think I'm happy with that.
Very close indeed, Rico. We'll get some expert comments from it on Mr. Maximo when he returns to the commentary box in the not too distant future, our resident expert gloveman. Any of you who have followed the cricket.com.au accounts on social over the last couple of months, you'll have seen some historical footage of Maximo showing his wares with the gloves during his indoor cricket time. Some outstanding work, just one of the genuine characters of the Australian indoor cricket scene back in the day. As Dave Barr continues his over, loads that on the stumps. Well, Niazi determined not to get a first ball duck, just defends it straight back down the crease.
Yeah, it's nice to see David Barr bowling. When I see him to be at his best, he's not trying to bowl too fast. You see that loop, that's where he's dangerous. And I just thought that maybe once or twice when we've seen him bowl, he's been bowling just a little bit quicker. And, well, maybe I suppose he's got a few extra runs to play with as well, so he can afford to give the odd one a bit of flight. Well, there's some concerns there, of course, from Azim Khalil. He's tried his best for his team.
Just spears that in, punched out to covers, and they'll take the single. So, because you and I were talking off screen before, Rico, and obviously because when we're not in the commentary box, we do hang out most moments of the day, and saying that Dave Barr probably just does need to slow the ball down occasionally, give the ball a bit more elevation. He's probably just defaulted to spearing it in a little bit too frequently, and particularly against the better sides in this competition. They've probably just worked him out. He just needs to get back a bit of variety for his bowling. He was pretty impressive when they came here in the first round of the competition.
Well, there's a little bit stronger together there. It's Barr and Sami Khalil get in each other's way. Good bit of work out there on the outfield. Gets the body behind it. That's David Murdoch. What a sensation he's been elevated up the batting order, and he's producing.
Speaking of producing, Albi Zelmi, they're now 37 for 6, and we look at this upcoming game, and it's probably the top two teams in the competition, and probably a preview of what we'll see for that first qualifier tomorrow. Pakai Care Badalona, they've been getting better and better as this week has gone ahead, and they will be meeting the front runners from Tunbridge Wells. The English team, they've got the mighty Williams pair batting at the top of the order, complemented by Dave Smith, who's also been in fine form with the bat. Viraj Bhatia, he showed some of his skill earlier today. And the left arm orthodox pair, Christian Davis and Mark McLean, they've given them plenty of variety in the middle overs as well, as Khalil smokes that for a much needed maximum. Well, Albi Zelmi started the over needing 36 off 6. It is not impossible. Could we see 6 consecutive maximums, Rico?
Well, we saw 5, didn't we? And when it was Chris Williams. And well, that's one of the 6 they need. It's only 5 more. And it's great doing the bowling.
Well, Khalil's given it plenty of air. It's not going to be a 6. I was hoping that was going to roll onto the boundary, but they'll scamper through for 2. He's showing some late enthusiasm in this innings. Only 4 balls left to go. He's only still needing 48 runs. Sorry, 28 runs, I should say. It's looking almost impossible now here unless they get some no balls, but good to see them fighting all the way through to the end. Khalil pumps it over the mid-wicket boundary. That's a super strike, and he must be looking at the skipper, just thinking, why haven't you got me in earlier? Where has this boy been?
I was going to say, I've got my hands in the air saying, where has he been? This is what they've been missing. When other batters have been going in and throwing the wickets away or dancing down the track and getting stumped, he's standing and hitting it big. Another 6.
Oh, he's gone again. Strikes it nicely. Unfortunately, he's met the presence of Iftikhar Hussain, who's patrolled that mid-wicket boundary with great expertise throughout this innings. It's a lonely spot out there. He's got a good 40-odd metres to his right for the fielder at deep square, and then companion down at long on. Nick Gray taking a bit of punishment in this final over. Another one short of a length. Big swing from Niazi that's gone a mile in the air. Fielder coming round takes an excellent catch. What a super grab. And you can hear the cheers in the background. I think that's Oshin Reynolds. No, actually it's David Murdoch who's come around there from deep square. Super catch, Rico.
Oh, that's a great catch. He's shaking his head. And it's almost like he's saying himself, I don't really know how I've taken this. Well, that was in the air a long time. He made several adjustments. And then finally, he takes the catch. Look, he's even looking the wrong way. What a great catch that is. And they certainly enjoyed it.
Well, it's brought the Brigade supporters to their feet. I think even the teddy bear cracked a smile with that catch. They had a great view of David Murdoch circling around the boundary. And although the match is basically finished, I'm sure Nick Gray had his heart in his mouth there at one stage. I'm not sure he would have appreciated going for another maximum. Already 16 off this over, but as it is, he picks up his first wicket, and plenty of smiling faces, plenty of happy campers down there in the fan zone. Certainly if you're a local here that's close to the Cartamar Oval, then please come down either this afternoon, still a few matches to go, or else for finals day tomorrow. Well, Zia swings around and caps off this unsuccessful chase with yet another boundary. Oh, Gray, he's gone for a few in this final over, but in the wash-up it doesn't matter. Albie Zalmi have fallen well short. It was a brave effort from them though. They've given the total a bit of a shake, and certainly helped by a couple of big strikes from Samli Khalil in that final over. It does beg the question of why he hasn't been up the order earlier today, Rico.
Yeah, it certainly does. And, well, Brigade, they hold firm, and the captain leads them well against. Andrew Britton does the job, and he gets his team the victory they need. And, well, as we prepare for the next match, what we can tell you, obviously, is that Al Bazami, with just the one match to play against Brescia, well, there's no way that they can make it into finals day tomorrow. So, well, though we applaud Brigade, they will be there. But, they also have a tough match coming up, match 19 against Pakake Badalona. They'll be looking to see if they can go higher up the table. But what a great performance. And that man there, well, you can take out Hussain. He was fantastic. Batted well, fielded well, picked up a wicket as well with his bowling, courtesy of a good catch from the captain, Andrew Britton. And both teams being applauded off the field, but most of the smiles will be on, of course, the supporters of the Irish Champions Brigade. This is what we got coming up. This is going to be a very exciting match. And Pakake Badalona versus Tunbridge Wells. Which way do you see this game? Kind of put you on the spot.
Harder to pick than a broken nose, this one, Rico. This is going to be an absolute belter of a contest. It feels like after being a little bit subdued yesterday, Pakake Badalona are just trending upwards, and each of the main Muhammads for them, Babar, Hassan and Cameron, particularly Muhammad Cameron, feels like he's starting to generate a bit more pace with the ball. He's looking good with the bat. I wouldn't be surprised if they take the Tunbridge Wells boys down in that game. Tunbridge Wells still probably moving their side around a little bit. They're preparing for finals day tomorrow as we have a look at the Albie Zelmi card. And, well, the two openers got them off to a reasonable start. Shahid Ali, plenty of boundaries in the opening exchanges. And actually, it was him getting clean bowled by Ryan McBeth that probably sent them into a bit of a frenzy. Lost a couple of 2-minute wickets thereafter, and that total was just out of reach. Brigade, the bowling wasn't too bad. 2 wickets for both McBeth and Barr in the opening overs, in particular 2 for 5 for Barr. Iftikhar Hussain went for a few, but he was very, very instrumental in setting them up with the bat with his 30 off 13, complemented by David Murdoch's 33 off 15, and in the end, Albie Zalmi finished 16 runs short of the Brigade score. And unfortunately, Rico, that means that we certainly don't bid well to them. They will be playing another game this afternoon, but that ends their chances of getting through to finals day tomorrow.
Yeah, it does. I mean, my question, of course, is, well, it's going to have to be said, isn't it? That's Sammy Sammy, where have they been hiding you? Because, well, we've seen something which Alba's Army needed a little bit too late. We saw somebody with a little bit of grit and a little bit of guts, played some nice shots there towards the end, and you just think in some of those matches that they had that they were so close, you just thought, well, maybe if he was in there, they could have got those victories. But look, I mean, we will be saying goodbye to them. We're not going to see them tomorrow, but they do still have one more match, and well, wouldn't they love to go out with a bang? And Albi's Army, they're a team that a lot of people, not just here around the ground, but a lot of people, a lot of our viewers on YouTube and people watching around the world, our global cricket family, they love them, and they love them lots, and they would love Albi's Army to finish with a bang and a victory over, well, it's going to be not going to be easy. It's going to be against Russia, the Italian champions, but they haven't been in the best of form themselves as we look forward to this match. What I can tell you about this mouth-watering contest that's coming up is the last time they met, well, I'll tell you what happened. Tunbridge Wells batted first, and despite Alex Williams 24 of 13, only made 47 but lost just 3 wickets. Kakakea Badalona 48 for 5, and it was Mohammad Ishan scoring a quick fire 18 of 7 deliveries, and they won that match by 5 wickets. So it's going to be an interesting encounter.
Yeah, it certainly will, Rico, but disappointing for Albi's Army to be out of contention, but they've certainly won the hearts and minds of everyone here at Cuddamore Oval this week, and they have bravely fought through and given us no shortage of entertainment over the last day and a half. And as Rico said, we will see them again in the not too distant future playing Brescia ECC. In the meantime, the big clash coming up. Pack Care Badalona, the Spanish champions, taking on Tunbridge Wells, the English representatives. And this will be a huge clash. Could be very instructive into how things will play out tomorrow. It's probably about 7 minutes away at the moment. I'll leave you in the safe and very handsome hands of Rico Full and Vinny Miss de Maximo Sandu to take you through the next game, and I'll see you back later this afternoon. So European cricket viewers, please join us for this next clash on the European Cricket Network.
Hello and welcome back to the magnificent Cardamom Oval. It's nice to see a little bit of sunshine that's coming through, and though there is a little bit of breeze around, it certainly is a lovely day for cricket. And after some of the weather we had early on in the week, this is a very pleasant surprise as we get ready and look forward to this exciting contest. Pakakea Badalona against Tunbridge Wells. And see that Chris Williams, the captain, he's been in fine form, and he's got the GoPro on his helmet again. Well, this is what we've seen here, saying that Tunbridge Wells are expected to score 54, and Pakakea Badalona just a run short. You can see the runs for Tunbridge Wells are really motoring away there, and runs against as well. So shows it's going to be close. It shows it's going to be around about the 50-run score mark. I just get the feeling, especially the way Tunbridge Wells have been batting, they're going to probably be looking to get to that score around about 65 and 70 again. And certainly, if Chris Williams gets going, you can see it motoring away. Let's see plenty of people in the fan zone, and they're going to enjoy an exciting contest. Quite a few people on the chat believe that this could be, maybe, this could be the final tomorrow, and who knows. Let's have a look. It's going to be Mohammed Cameron, the hitman, to start. And well, the hitman's been hit straight down the ground. That's a big hit. Mano arriba, Vito seis carreras. Well, what a start. And we did see Mohammed Cameron go for 20 in an earlier match. And well, is it going to be the same again? He holds his pose beautifully as this one is hit down the ground. Remember, they did lose to Pakakea Badalona match 3 yesterday, so they're looking to bounce back. Well, that was an unusual choice of shots from Williams, and he starts to go outside the off stump, and Cameron just follows him. It's nice to see both Mohammed Cameron and the captain of Tunbridge Wells sharing a smile together. That's one thing that has been absolutely phenomenal in this Ball European Cricket League, is the way the players have really interacted and got on with each other. Sportsmanship has been absolutely fantastic. Cameron once more. Ooh, well, this one was quick and feisty. That will be the one for the over. You see him being signalled here. And here we go. Well, the sportsmanship has been well, but when they're out there in the middle, they're being competitive as well. Of course, they're going to be competitive. This is all about who tomorrow will be crowned the champions of Europe. Cameron once more to Chris Williams. And this goes to hand, and it's dropped. And Cameron is not happy. Oh, he's furious. He's absolutely furious. He can't believe that this has been dropped. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well, he may have a few words said to him by the tournament referee afterwards, Mohammed Cameron, but that needs to be taken. It's an opportunity. It goes into the hand of the fielder, but down it goes. And that had to be taken by Hanif. Cameron. Well, it's fired him up a little. This was a little bit quicker. Yes, it beats Chris Williams outside the off stump. He's not a happy man, is he? You can understand why he's not. That was a big wicket. That was a big moment. That goes down, but he can't be like that. You can't have that rubbing off on the players. Nobody means to drop catches. And now he's still a little bit vocal to some of the fielders. I think he's just taking out a bit of his frustration on them. And that's well hit in the gap, 4 runs. And talking about frustration, that's going to be more frustrating. That is the end of the over, and that boundary, and, 2 boundaries from it. That one will take the score into double figures. 10 on the board, 1 over gone. It's a mixed start, really. I think Mohammed Cameron will be disappointed. He doesn't get the wicket. As we have a look at the table, and a nice time to welcome back man who's had a bit of a break, Mr. Maximo.
Yeah, had a nice break last game. Sad to see Albi Salmi effectively eliminated from the tournament. We will see them again, won't we? One more game, but yeah, these 2 teams, a few bragging rights to go here. Cameron gets hit for 10. Interesting first over. Now here's Mohammed Baba for over number 2. Pitches up. This is Alex Williams now. He gets off the mark. The first ball he faces. And it's not a man you want to drop. It wasn't an easy catch for Majid Hanif, because yeah, short it straight to him, but yeah, the pace on the ball and then pace off the bat. It was a bit like a laser beam. They either stick or they don't. Baba has been in good form. Returned to form with 2 wickets in his last outing. Now he has the challenger ball to Chris Williams. Goes straight and goes true. 4 runs. Good batting. He's just so technically proficient, and he expands his technique to play these attacking strokes and plays them so well. Good power play batting as Tunbridge Wells move to 15.
Yeah, this is a classy shot. See how quickly he gets into position. But it's all about keeping his shape, isn't it? Keep the shape, keep your head absolutely still, and he well rockets that up and over the bowler and the umpire. 4 runs.
So Mohammed Baba back to the drawing board. Will Chris Williams give them another chance? On the walk, turns into a full toss. This one is out of here. Maximo! And Williams, he's got the camera, and he's certainly putting on a show at the moment. Tunbridge Wells past 20. That was all about the footwork of Chris Williams, breaking up the length of Mohammed Baba.
Yeah, it wasn't a good delivery, and he turns it into a full toss, and he's hitting this one on the move, and he absolutely hammers it. Oh, the fielder, 6 runs, and Williams is doing what he does best, and that's, well, hit the ball hard, hitting 6s for fun at the moment.
On the walk again, this time he kind of yorks himself. And the fielding is done. Almost cost him a pair of sunglasses by Mohammed Yassin. Yeah, a few questions about the GoPro, or the camera on Chris Williams' helmet, and that is all our social media team who asked Chris if he'd be comfortable wearing the GoPro, so we're probably likely to see some of that footage of what it's like to face Mohammed Kamran on our social media. So isn't that a great innovation?
Certainly is. It didn't go well the first time. Maybe he was a little bit camera shy. And, well, that's a really good pick up and throw. But I think the umpire was right in line with that, but he just wants to check. And I would understand that, because things happen so quickly there. I think he may have just been in.
I think he's home, but you always got to be sure that the bat gets down correctly. So I think it's probably worth it. We'll slow it down as much as we can. Yeah, he's made it fairly comfortably, but you can see how the foot wasn't quite in. So umpire just checking the bat was grounded. It was. Nice bit of fielding by Mohammed Baba.
Yeah, he does well there, doesn't he? He's pretty quick. Gets to it. Can be quite deceiving. He's quite a big man, isn't he? He uses a lot of that power in his batting, but he can throw himself around as well when he has to.
Last ball of the power play. There's a little feather on this, and there is. So Williams has got to go. It was the thinnest of edges. Baba, he removes the Tunbridge Wells skipper. That's a huge win in the context of this game, because Chris Williams, he'd scored 21 out of the 23 runs so far. It's just a little bit of a way movement, I think, got Chris Williams reaching. So he's got to go, and the score 23 for 1.
Yeah, well done, well bowled, Baba. He just kept the ball in the right areas, and this is the first time I think we've seen a bit of a loose shot from Chris Williams. You see, he gets himself into position like he thinks it's going to be a little bit closer and fuller, but it's wider, and he does chase it. He gets the edge, catch is taken, so though he was dropped on 6, he doesn't really go on to cause that much more damage. So I think Hanif will certainly breathe a sigh of relief.
Yeah, he will. So it doesn't really cost him too much. I've got to say a big thank you to Lindsay. I know she doesn't want me to shout out, but Lindsay there, mum of Matt Barker, who's given me this beautiful coffee cup, and it matches my outfit, so that's very thoughtful. So thank you to the Tunbridge Wells supporters for that wonderful gift. And then I've got this. Now this is a hat from Jeff at Grizzly US Sports, and he said he will give these to anyone that can take a hat trick today or scores a 50.
Trust me, when you wear it, it'll look a lot better than that.
Well, this looks pretty good for Alex Williams. Might have lost his brother, but he hasn't lost his touch. Oh, this has gone a mile over the boundary. Maximo! And now it's Alex's time to put his foot down.
Well, it's always annoying. There you go, Bartier saying, well, this is the way you do it. I was going to say, it's always annoying when you see the umpire with a big smile on his face, signalling a 6. And annoying for the bowler anyway, and the fielding team, not for the batter. Probably enjoyed it.
Well, if we did have 12s, that would have been one. That went miles over the boundary. Latif Mohammed just rolls in on the length. Alex Williams. He's just so strong all around the wicket, particularly strong though on the drive. He's got that intent, doesn't he? Picked up this format so quick. This one is shorter, but clever bowling to do something different. And, he's saying something about the height here, but I mean, he hasn't bowled a short one yet. And if it is over your head, it doesn't matter if you hit it, right? So let's see how short this is. It wasn't that high anyway.
No, it wasn't. I think he was a little bit deceived here. It was a little bit slower as well. I think that maybe Alex Williams didn't see this as well as he thought he did.
Yeah, it's a strange reaction. Anyway, back to work. This one's a little bit short as well, off the end of the bat. Long chase with Muhammad Baba. I'm going to take him on, go for 2. They go the long way. Well, it would have been out, but it would have had to have been the longest throw in the game. I think that's good running to get 2, but perhaps a little bit risky. But, they were pretty keen on it, and they get there.
Yeah, it was good running. It wasn't the best of fielding. It took a long time to get the throw in. And then, well, also, the bowler there, you see, he's standing in the middle in no man's land. It's one thing you're taught early on, isn't it?
Yeah.
As you're a bowler, get back behind the stumps.
Wasn't expecting it to come the long way, was he? Latif Mohammed. Williams moves to 10. This one's pulled away. And the Bubba fields on the bounce this time. The short throw to the keeper. This will bring Dave Smudger Smith on strike. Well, we know that he likes to get funky. I'm sure he'll be boarding the one-way ticket express to Funky Town before the end of this over. He just likes to go backwards as well, and typically the wind has kind of assisted those shots behind the keeper.
Getting thirsty. I'm getting thirsty. You getting thirsty?
Just had a decent break, so I'm okay. There we go. Goes reverse. Has he got a little edge on this? You see umpire Tyrone Peters just kind of motioning that it might have hit the shirt of Dave Smith, who was born right-handed but thinks he's left-handed here. Not an easy shot to play first up.
Yeah, no, I don't think this touches anything on the way through.
Maybe just gets a little bit of the hip. It might have been a noise, but it certainly seemed like there was daylight between bat and ball.
That's what he likes to do. Mind you, earlier today when he was trying to be funky, he did wear one, didn't he?
He did, right in the throat.
Yeah, I think he was a little bit sore and croaky.
Yeah.
Afterwards for a while.
Last ball for Latif Mohammed. And this is on length, and it is lasered out of the ground. Maximo! Well, this time he stands and he delivers. He gets the length he wants from Mohammed. He was all over that. And after 3 overs, score is 38 for 1.
Yeah, stand and deliver. Boom. Don't show us the dark clouds. They're not threatening. We're not going to have any rain. We're all right. No worries about that at all. Yeah, talking about being thirsty.
Yeah.
It was lovely to quench my thirst yesterday. We got back to base at the Sunset Beach Resort and had a nice Guinness.
Did you really?
Did
that's the
a few
traditional thing to
stories,
do.
a bit of sláinte with some of the Irish and some of the brigade supporters.
They never let you go too quickly either, do they, the Irish? But, we had Andrew Leonard telling us we had a double bank holiday today. So first time they've done that. I was wondering what kind of damage the Irish could do with 2 days instead of 1.
Yeah, it's a good time to say good afternoon to Michael Dove as well, who's in the chat. And, well, everyone is, plenty to talk about on the chat there from Keanu and Phil G, and also from Maya. It's an interesting conversation there. Keep it up. And remember, tell your friends, tell your family. The more the merrier.
Yes.
What are the numbers? What are our numbers now on YouTube? What are we up to now?
We're getting up to 270,000 plus. I remember We weren't even 100,000 at the start of last season. But of course, don't forget we have so many viewers watching on Fancode and the subcontinent as well.
Yeah.
Numbering in the millions and then various other platforms that we're on around the world. Change the ball here. Not surprising considering how hard it's been hit a few times. And now they are going to spin. Looks like Adil Shafkat is going to bowl. Interesting, we haven't seen so much of Sikandar Ali bowling. He had a pretty good start with the ball, but Shafkat the preferred spin option at the moment. And here he is bowling to Alex Williams. He's on the walk and hits it over extra cover. Maximo! That's a challenge kind of length from Shafkat. Alex Williams up to the challenge. He takes 6 more for Tunbridge Wells.
Oh, I mean, forget the dark clouds. That is a thunderous shot. And executes it so well. You know the difference for me when we look at the likes of some of these shots down the ground from the Tunbridge Wells players, the likes of Alex Williams there, Chris Williams. The difference is they put all the weight into the shot, and that's what helps them clear the boundary.
Well, this one is high, and this one might bring rain. That's gone miles, and the result, Maximo, 6 more. It's Williams, he goes offside, he goes leg side, but he always goes large, and Tunbridge Wells bring up the 50 with that strike.
Yeah, this is a marvellous shot, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. You see, he's going to the ball, and then getting all the power, all the weight into it. That goes a long way. Boom! Shaka-lugya!
Balance, isn't it? That's the word I'd use to describe his batting. 23 off 8, looking dangerous. Just to reach for this one. Just gets one. And we'll say hello to a few others in the chat. And hello to Michael again, Maya, Sandori, Smithersy, who's saying that the dark clouds look a bit ominous, but yeah, well, hopefully the weather gods are with us. It's the time where we thought we'd have to completely postpone the championship week, but here we are, back on track after today, hopefully. It's a clever bit of bowling from Shafkat. He just pulls the length back slightly. Now Smith is on strike.
Yeah, you can just see from, watch Shafkat come on to bowl. Just keep an eye on his trousers. Gives you an indication that the wind has picked up slightly.
That's clever bowling. This is the one that looks like a quicker ball but isn't. Just patted away for one by Smith. And a few people saying, obviously, acknowledge Andrew Rhino for doing such a great job. Always great when we can get Rhino. Enjoyed Andrew Leonard stepping in on, for a couple of guest spots during this week as well. Well, this one is going to be 6. You can forget about it. Well, them's the fan zone scattering. Maximo! Williams moves to 30 off 10. That's 300 pace. And Shafkat kind of digs this in a little bit shorter. I think he sees Williams coming, but I think Alex Williams, he was one step ahead. He was ready to play this shot. He certainly executed it very well.
Oh, what a shot. And they're just so dangerous, aren't they? The Williams, if one doesn't perform, the other one says, don't worry, bro, I'm still there. And hitting the ball so well. And, of course, look, I have to say, this big news for Tunbridge Wells as we have a look at the remaining fixtures that come today. And that is, there was concern that maybe Alex Williams may not be around for finals.
Wow.
He is going to be here now. That is the big news. And that's a massive plus for them.
It sure is. You see the Tunbridge Wells, they'll play match 20. Last game of the day. Pakai Care will play match 19. A couple of hours' time. Yeah, Albie's Army, unfortunately. Now we know that they will be the team eliminated, but they'll be playing for pride, no doubt, and the next time we see them. So it just slides into the pad. Shiraz Ahmed is on to bowl last over. That's the point in the chat is a few people asking about Corey. Well, Corey's got a couple of weeks off, but he'll be rejoining me in Portugal in the ECS in a couple of weeks. So look, if you're not aware of the ECS, at the end of this tournament, it's not the end of the story for ECN, because we will be bringing this same fast-paced format all around Europe. You can always tune in on our YouTube channel, ECN European Cricket Network, every day, Monday to Saturday. Also on Fancode in Subcontinent. Oh, this is a bit fortunate. And it's going to be a little cut français from Williams. He just gets enough bat on this. And when you're hot, you're hot. Shiraz Ahmed wins the moral battle, but it's 4 runs to Tunbridge Wells.
And a little bit unfortunate. That's actually a very good delivery. You can see it looks like it's going to go on to hit the middle stump there, that gets a bit of an inside edge, goes to the boundary. Getting into the 60s now. I think this score sort of around the 70 mark. It's going to be an exciting prospect. There's 4 deliveries still to go.
Think about how dominant Tunbridge Wells have been in this championship week, although they did lose the one game to Pakakea by 1 run. But that's without Marcus O'Riordan, who I think was probably their best player pound for pound in the group week. Shows the depth they've got, shows how quick they've picked things up. Slightly slow ball this time from Shoz Ahmed. It's away from the field, who overruns it, makes an absolute meal of it, and it's going to be 4 more. Shafkat down the ground. That's normally where Shoz Ahmed fields. So, yeah, he'll be a bit disappointed, to say the least, about that effort from Shafkat.
Well, this is when you say cue the music, because you could just see this was going to happen, and this is not good alertness really from the fielder. He overruns it and then says, can't get the brakes on, and it's Adil Shafkat that doesn't get himself in the good books with his captain.
This time it's just flat batted down the ground. A little bit late on that one, Williams. So, look, so they'll be chasing something around the 70 mark, maybe low 70s. Pakakea, we know that when they click with the bat, they're really hard to stop, although also no Tunbridge Wells have a pretty well balanced batting lineup. I think their spinners will have a big role to play defending this total. There's a slow ball, picked and dispatched, and Smudger not mucking around. Maximo, that one does take them into the swinging 70s.
Yeah, this is game on for me. It's a top quality shot from a quality player, and haven't they batted well, these three? I mean, we talk about the two batters that are there at the moment, Smudger and Alex Williams, and Chris Williams as well, and we saw them just mix it up in the earlier match. They've always got players that step up. Tunbridge Wells.
Last ball of the innings, 74 on the board. This one takes a bit of pad, so it won't be a wide. They'll probably sneak through for a leg by. So they will finish at 75, 15 and over pace. It's a very good score, especially after being sent in. And once again, we saw the heavy lifting being done by the Williams. Nice little cameo from Dave Smith as well at the end. He'll finish on 13. But in this innings, 75 runs, 60 came off the bat of Chris and Alex Williams. Still Pakakea, I think they'll fancy themselves to chase these down, but they're going to have to bat really well.
Yeah, they are. One man that's sort of been holding them together with the batting, surprisingly, is Mohammed Kamran. The last 2 knocks, he's made 27 and 22. And, well, he'll be hoping that one of the other batters is able to perform here. And he didn't have the best of times with the ball. He got quite irate after that catch was dropped.
I want to know about Chris Williams, if now he's wanting to make video calls, because he's got the camera on his head. We know he's got the bat phone in his hand, but he's not afraid to use it. But then a little bit of a feather on this off the bar. Just got him moving back to the pavilion for 21 off 10. But then his brother Alex, well, he picked it up, and still some nice blows from Dave Smith as well, who was able to hit 2 maximos of his own. But yeah, balance, that's the word I'd use to describe the batting of Alex Williams, and he seems to have a lot of time to pick up the length and play his shots. Yeah,
you're absolutely right. And when you watch some of their hitting and you compare it to maybe 1 or 2 others, as you see this big blunder there on the field, that's not going to be one that Shafkat will want to look at again. But yeah, it's all about holding your pose, holding your shape, and getting the weight into the shot, and they did that really well here. And remember, we got this win that's going to hold up a few balls that go up the air, but if you time them well and get the power on the shot, they're going all the way to the boundary.
And it's kind of swinging around all the time as well, so keep an eye on that. Alex Williams, 39 off 13, top scoring at 3 a ball pace. That's pretty good going, isn't it? Chris Williams, he's an 8 by comparison, 21 off 10, but still an important contributor early in this innings. And Smith, the other batter used, scored 13 off 7. No wides or no balls in this innings, so I mean, you could say Pakakea, that's one positive for them. Baba, the wicket taker, he removed Chris Williams caught behind. He took 1 for 13, but you see all the bowlers going double digits. Kamran, again, interesting battle. He had Chris Williams dropped, but they only took him for 10. Again, he will be disappointed he couldn't pick up an early wicket. So when we return in a few minutes, we'll be looking at Pakakea Badalona. Well, they're the only team to defeat Tunbridge Wells this week so far. Can they do it again? If they are going to do that, they'll need 76 off their 5 overs. Back shortly. Vinny Sander here, Mr. Maximo, alongside Rico Full. Hope you're having a great day. Now, this is Championship Week, and it is just going to continue serving up the entertainment. Back shortly for more. Second half of match 17 on the way. You're watching ECN. This is the Bet to More European Cricket League.
Hello and welcome back to a beautiful shot there of the almond trees in full blossom as we see the fan zone and also the players' tents. It's a nice shot there of the champions of England, Tunbridge Wells, just having a team huddle before they go about defending 76. Well, that is the target that Pack Ballona need to get. Now they're a team that are certainly able to get these runs, but they need a good start. And well, maybe it's time for somebody like Baba to get going. He's an aggressive player, but he's been getting out playing, well, I would say uncharacteristic shots for him. Again with Yassine. That's the non-striker. As we get ready, and it is Barker to bowl the first. Well, this is an interesting lead. It's a very good delivery, and Baba just thinking, we don't need 30 balls. We can do it at 29. Well, let's wait and see. Here's Rico Fool here, and joining us back again, of course, is Mr. Maximo Vinny Sandu.
Unusual decision. It's well, that look now. Here's Barker. Similar time delivery. Half an appeal from behind the wicket. I don't think Barker was too enthused about it. That's Liam Buttery, who's kept very well today. So 2 dots to start. They've gone for Bubba and Yassine at the top of the order. They've gone with that right-hand, left-hand combination. They have to get cracking. I think the start's so important. Want 30 in the power play, Pack Care. 15 and over pace required from the get-go. This is out again. This time it'll be called a wide.
Yeah, don't mind that. You're a bowler, you've got a plan in your mind. You know you want to keep it off the legs and the body of Mohamed Baba. That's really strong. So you're just trying to get this ball to sneak in outside the off. If you give away 1 or 2 wides, but you keep him quiet, I don't think you mind that. You'll take that.
It's a bit of right to left swing as well with that breeze. This one hit, been borderline again. Baba gets off the mark. Not quite timing it yet though. Gives Yassine a chance, and this is where the bowler has to make the adjustment because all these ones be at risk of swinging down the leg side of Mohamed Yassine. He's a very accomplished cricketer. Haven't quite seen the best of him yet, but he did a couple of boundaries late to see them home in their last match.
Yeah, he got to 20, didn't he? 20 of 10 deliveries, but didn't really time it well. But then he hasn't played as many matches as some of the other players, so maybe it's a good time for him to find his form going into finals day tomorrow.
Yeah, makes a good adjustment there. This one doesn't really come back, slides across Yassine, swing and a miss. A question from Cricket Lover about Precious EC and the ECS. Yeah, they didn't actually win the ECS last year. It was Jinnah Brescia who won that series. They've got a very good side, Jinnah Brescia. But Precious EC basically beat Jinnah Brescia in a playoff because it was the 20 winners versus the 21 winners. This one, another one slides across Yassine. He's not really moving his feet. There's been a lot of high quality cricket in Italy, isn't there? We've seen it, especially up in the north.
And the one thing about Brescia Cricket Club is they're very new. They've only been formed just a couple of years. So what they've done in a very short period of time, it's been absolutely amazing, really.
Nice ball over. And not got moving yet. Now there is some bat on this. Test the fielder, Chris Williams. He does well. He's having a really good tournament. He just keeps this 1 to 2. It could have been 4. And
As he do that, keep his cap on.
Must have a big head. Anyway, 4 for no loss after the first.
Well, this is great work from him. Look, you think he's going to get away from him. Excellent stop. And yeah, look, that baggy. I do love these baggies. And, it stays on as well. And well, a bit of brotherly love there.
Yeah, appreciated. And so, yeah, that makes it even tougher, doesn't it? Already you're up at 3 of ball pace required. And so, look at the table. These two do seem pretty set for top 2 finishes. And they still have 1 more match to go after this. Precious EC, the only ones that could pinch it off. One of these teams, if Brescia were to win their last 2 games, and one of these teams would lose both. Here's Alex Williams. Swing and a miss. Baba just can't get going so far.
Yeah, this seems to be, I mean, quite a few people made the same observation. They're surprised that in this, the F5 format, that the likes of Pakakir, Badalona, Brushia, Albazami, if you like, haven't been more ruthless with the bat. See this delivery.
Here it goes this time, leg side, but it's going to be a catching opportunity. It's taking an age to come down and it gets dropped. Well, he had time to write a shopping list and probably go pick a few items up while that was in the air. Michael Waller, that was miles high. And Baba gets a life.
Yeah, this goes a long way up. I'll tell you one thing, I certainly wouldn't want to be under this one. It goes a long, long way up. It looks like he's got himself in good position, and I get the feeling that this strong breeze that's developed has probably done a bit to take that away from him.
Yeah, this time it's going to be 4. So you've seen, he cashes in. Still a long way to go on this chase, but like I care, at least now they get a boundary. Maybe that can get them moving. Got to say a quick hello to Charles in the chat. He says, watching from home this afternoon. No, you're quite nearby. And Tracy says hello. I hope to see us tomorrow afternoon. Yeah, we certainly hope so. If you are in the area, tomorrow's a great day to come down. Not every day you get an ECL finals day. Oh, this is absolute blast from Mohamed Yassin. Well, he's coming good. And this one's over the jungle. Maximo, big hit from the opener. That was supersonic.
This is huge. It's an absolute belt of a shot. And well, the left-hander, what he's got going with him is this wind is helping that, and that's taking that all the, that's gone into the next field.
That wasn't a terrible wall from Alex Williams either, but well, like a rug shop, everything had to go. Wants it again, gets a little inside edge. Williams thinks about throwing, thinks against it. Damn it, I said they'd want to be about 30 off the first 2 overs. At the moment they're barely half that. But you would say someone like Baba, if he clicks, he's a 6-hitting machine. He's just been a bit off. It's been dropped already. It's not really hurting the English champions as yet. Last ball of the second. And this one is pulled away, and this one won't be caught. Not on the field anyway. Maximo. Alex Williams rolls the dice, and Baba was up to the task. 6 to finish the second over. It's 22 for no loss.
Yeah, good shot this time. This time he gets right under it and gets a distance on it as well. And it's 6 carreras. Vamos, chicos, vamos.
Big day tomorrow. So halfway between Cartermat and Cohen on the A7059. If you are on the Costa del Sol, come down for a cricket festival, cricket carnivale tomorrow. Starting with the eliminator, 3rd versus 4th, and then the qualifier between 1st and 2nd. I know that there'll be a lot of buzz around the ground tomorrow, starting 8 a.m. GMT, which is 9 o'clock in Central Europe, and 1:30 p.m. in India. Be the 2nd ever ECL final. And we'll have a new champion, VOC Rotterdam. I didn't make it out of the group stage, so big carrot. I haven't really talked about this. I'll talk about it in a minute. First, let's have a look at Christian Davis. He's bowled well, hasn't he? Nice bit of fielding. Make sure he keeps in front of him. Just one. So look, this is something I haven't really mentioned, and maybe people aren't aware. Whoever does win the trophy, they're automatically invited back to next year's tournament. Yeah. And that's a big incentive as well. And that means their host country, or their country, will get 2 qualifiers, essentially, or 2 representatives next year in ECL 23. Let's round the wicket now to Baba. He wants the leg side and he gets it, but not quite as he intended. Just dragged down off the bottom edge for 1.
Yeah, I mean, you said it, Christian Davis. He's been a man on fire. He's enjoying himself out there. He's bowled well, he's fielded well. And, well, the smiles on his face. He's also spread across the fan zone.
That's a fake charge, and it could be trouble. No, it goes with the wind. Gets 6. Maximo to Yassin. He just kind of stutter step there, trying to throw off Davis. I don't think he gets this anywhere near the middle of the bat, Yassin, but I think that wind just carries that over the ropes.
Yeah, look, this wind is ideal for the lefty. It certainly is. I mean, you may get, just see the shot there of those flags.
He wants to go again, and this one will go the journey. He's really milking the breeze at the moment. Yassin has caught a light, and he's batting Pakakep back into this contest. He's 26 off 9.
Yeah, there's another one. Maximo. And Mohamed Yassin, I said that he hasn't really had too much time out there, but I like the way he backs himself here. The UCC 3 comes down the pitch and crashes clubs it over for another big 6.
I want to acknowledge JRM in the chat, who says hello from Australia. It'll be a late night after the Shane Warne tribute at the Saints game, St Kilda game. That'll be in the Australian football. Talk about that in a moment, because we were shocked, weren't we, a couple of weeks ago when we got the news. See, wants it again. This time he doesn't quite get the contact. Just one. I mean, it's still a bit surreal, isn't it, being half a world away? But we got the news 2 weeks ago that 2 legends of the game, Rabash and Shane Warne, passed away. And so we had our tributes here. And it's good to see that there was a special moment tonight in his hometown of Melbourne. Okay, Bubba goes into the wind, but he doesn't care because he gets enough. That's into the fan zone, and I think that was held. Oh, he might have dropped it. Well, show your face. Oh, there we go. That'll be a 5-run penalty as well.
Oh, there.
Up.
Robbo, calm down, Robbo. The tournament referee, he's after you now. He's got your number.
Well, let's see if we can slow-mo the catch here. I thought he was in a really good position. Had to lean over the fence slightly. And then, well, we don't see the evidence, but I can tell you from the reaction, it wasn't held in the crowd. It's the end of 3 overs, though. And that's the over they needed, isn't it? Pack Care. Up to 3. They're 43 for no loss.
Yeah, great over for Pack Care. 21. Christian Davies goes for. That wind is really picking up here now. It's pretty strong, pretty blustery.
Yeah, it's Yassine that's using it, though. It's pretty strong right to left on your screen at the moment, so favouring the leg side. Looks like Bailey Whiteman's going to bowl. He has to be careful not to get too straight to Yassine here, I think. See there, the fans, they're ready for action. There's Michael Kelly, who we saw playing for the Culpe Giants earlier in this series. Here's Whiteman around the wicket. Pretty good length to prevent Yassine getting under it. He'll just get a single.
Yeah, we haven't seen the best of Bailey Whiteman. Trust me on that. I know he's had his moments, he's had his issues. I think he's just finding his rhythm. He's just getting used to this end. And some always think it's a brave move to put him on with Kake Badalona, these two batting so well.
Bang! This is out of here. Maximo! Baba took a while to get going, but it was bye-bye ball. Whiteman over pitches and pays the penalty, and that brings up the 50 for Pack Care.
Yeah, big hit. It wasn't the best of deliveries. It was Gundy. It was a full toss. Plenty of pace on the ball. And Baba says, well, thank you very much, because I'll use that pace to crush this over the boundary. 6 runs.
Not an easy ball to put away, the full toss. I've seen batters get them wrong.
The difference with Baba is he just wait for it, doesn't he? Stays inside his crease.
Good contact point there. Now goes into the gap, and this will be another boundary. I think there's going to be 4 more. Cuatro, carreras más. Whiteman has had his problems with control in this series. But really, at the moment, it's just good batting, I think, from Baba. This was on a length, but he picked his spot, and he hit it perfectly. 4 more runs.
Yeah, good shot. This wasn't a bad ball. It was right up there. But the problem is you've got the 2 men there. Big gap in between them.
Now he goes straight, and this one is gone. Maximo! Pack Care, after such a quiet first over, that only saw 4 runs. Well, the next has gone for 18, then 21. Now this one, 17. Still 2 balls remaining. Pack Care have blasted their way back into this match.
No para sigue, no para sigue, vamos chicos. That's what the Spanish supporters are saying to the Spanish champions. Pack Care Badalona.
2 to come. Wants to go again, and it's the same result. A bit of swagger in the follow through from Mohamed Baba. He was tied down, but it's hard to keep a player like him tied down for too long. And now it's hard to believe they're within 10 runs of winning this match.
Kinna sona, kinna swad aa gaya, kinna acha shot मारिया, and that's beautiful. कह रहे हाल आओ शक्का भी मार देता मैंने ये 2-3 फोटो भी खींच दो. That is a brilliant shot, and dare I say it, but Mohamed Baba is back.
Nice ball the over. Out. He's going to be gone here. This has hurt Mohamed Baba. It's a foot crusher. Ouch. And well, he's hurt. Trouble. He's hurt and he's out. Hopefully that's no actual bone damage there. And Baba, he's batted his team back into the game. He might have a bit of assistance off the field. You can see here, and there's no doubt at all. Just have a look at this, where this hits the foot. Ooh. Bang, right on the top. And there's no protection.
He's in trouble. I'll tell you that now. Yeah. I said he's back. Well, another man who's back is Bailey Whiteman, because he gets his revenge, sweet revenge. But not only has he got the LBW decision here. I think that is absolutely plump, but I think he's caused serious damage, and you can see Bubba, he's using the bat as a walking stick now. That's hurting.
That really does. He's a pretty tough unit as well, Mohamed Baba. But what about his contribution with the bat? Take nothing away from that. Slow to get going, wasn't he? But ends up going for 37 off 13. Again, have a look at this. He hits him right in front of off stump, middle and off, so there's no doubt that's going on to hit. But yeah, still brave batting. And he'll have to probably ice that one up before too long. Remember, they still have another match later on today. I wonder if perhaps they may consider resting their star, especially with such a big day tomorrow. Right now it's the end of 4, 66 for 1. What that does do, it brings the game to life as well. 10 required in the last over. They've gotten so close, Yassine and Cameron need to finish the job off. Got to respond to Keanu. He wanted to know, will the winner of this that plays next year, will they be automatically through to Championship Week or not? Give you more information in a minute. Here's Dave Smith though, last over. And this is skied as well. And Buttery should take this as swirling around, and he drops it. And so, well, what it does, it keeps Yassine at the crease, but it also means it's a run. And that was the wind. It was all the wind there, I think. It was blowing away from him. You need to account for that as a keeper. But with the wind changing every 5 minutes, it's not always easy.
Well, how important could that be? Because don't forget, I mean, it is a single, so Mohamed Cameron is on strike. Could have been a new batter.
Cameron's been a bit of a slow starter with the bat, but he doesn't have time here. 9 off 5 required. And he's got this all wrong. He's going back, and he'll hold it. And so, full toss, missed time. Smudger has to turn on his heels. Well, he does what Buttery couldn't. And lose Cameron first ball means the new batter will be on strike. This game has another twist and another turn as Pakakea lose a second wicket, 67 for 2.
Well, you talk about lose, Mohamed Cameron, you'll see in the replay, he loses this. He has no idea where this ball is, even when it goes up in the air. That is an excellent catch. We just said how difficult it is catching the ball when it goes up in the air. The wind is swirling around all over the place. Well, we saw the drop, which allowed them to get the single and Cameron get on strike, but he's gone. It's the very first ball, Golden Ducks, and the man who's been productive for them in the last 2 innings is not going to be productive for them here. 9 runs required off 4 deliveries.
Son comes to the crease. He'll be on strike. Yeah, so just answering your question, Keanu. Oh, distracted again by the golden ball. Graphic coming up. Well, you can see why. This one could go down to the wire. Oh, it is. If we do get a golden ball, it'll be our first. It's Group A when we saw Start CC of Luxembourg becoming the Finnish champs, Helsinki Titans. Keanu, at this stage, depends how many teams are involved next year. So they may or may not make it through to Championship Week. Probably more likely they'll have to win their way through the group, like VOC Rotterdam couldn't do. All right, important that I have another dot ball here. Nissan gets 1. Probably a good result, but now 8 off 3. Yassine, he's still got that leg side wind assistance. I think he'll be trying to get the boundary they need. I feel like they can't really win without a boundary. If they get 1, I think they'll probably get there.
Although he was dropped his last delivery.
And this one's lifted up and away. Maximo Yassine. Oh, he's been after the snakes in the jungle. And Smith just gets a little bit too straight to the left-hander. It was dropped earlier in the over. This one takes them within just a couple of victory. 2 balls remaining, 2 required.
Yeah, it was a drop that got him to the other end. But, when he gets back to the attacking end, he makes them pay. It was Buttery that couldn't hold on to the catch. So now 2 required on 2 deliveries.
No dot balls, you can't lose. Big match, big ball, hit straight. Oh wow, here we go. Now will they try for 2? They don't. And so, well, score's tied. Last ball, Rico. We haven't had a golden ball for a long time. It's been, what's that, 5 weeks? Over 5 weeks.
Golden ball.
Oh, 75-75. And how's the pressure on Isan? They'll bring everyone up. You might as well. Sometimes you might leave one back floating for a catch. But I think you also need to be clever and cover the stumps. We saw that in the Group D final, didn't we? Have someone covering those bowlers' end stumps if the bowler can't get back. So here we go. Well, they need to score to win Pakakea Barcelona. If they don't score off this ball, we will have golden ball 28. Smith goes. This is in the air. It is. Oh, he's going to throw the game away because that'll be it.
Yeah.
That'll be it. Oh, that's probably the only circumstance that you wouldn't throw it away, because as soon as you throw it away, you're going. And look, you couldn't really do much more than that, to be fair. The fielder,
if he catches this, he's going to be sick.
yeah, probably need to try and launch it back towards the field and hope that someone would come out and be able to catch it. But congratulations to Yassine and particularly Mohamed Ihsan.
Have a look at this.
Oh, it was a good effort. The instincts take over. I mean, maybe he jumps off the rope anyway, so might have been 6 at any rate by Matt Barker. Fantastic effort. But how about that? Pakai Care, that's the second time that they have beaten Tunbridge Wells, the English champions. They do it in thrilling fashion once again. Another last ball thriller. There's just not too much between these two teams. But it is the Spanish champions that get the wood over Tunbridge Wells once again in match 17. The final score will be Pakai Care 81. It will be Tunbridge Wells.
I think as soon as they take the first single, that's it. That's the game.
I think,
unless it's being given as a
I
six.
think that he jumps off the rope. I mean, it probably doesn't matter too much, but I think that he actually jumps off the rope, so it's 6. But what a mark! Doesn't matter. I mean, really, it was a pressure moment, and it turned out to be just centimetres in it. Tunbridge Wells, they'll be disappointed. We'll see them again before the end of the day, taking on Brescia CC, the Italian champions, in match 20. But then what can you say? Buckle up. There's going to be some highlights in this 5 overs.
Oh, there certainly is, and there was highlights all around in every element of the match. The batting, the fielding, the bowling. Well, this one goes down, but the important one was, you've got to say, and we'll see it again, the one that Buttery drops, because it was Yassine who ended up being the assassin, as he got his team back-to-back victories over Tunbridge Wells. But it was a sensational match. It had everything. It had the drama, and I'm wearing the gold. I felt there was going to be a golden ball, and it wasn't to be in this match, but it could still come. And well, I think Rob is having a word with one of the spectators there for damaging the condition of the ball. And, but some of the shots that Mohamed Babar played as well, good to see him at his best. But this, ouch, that hurt. This was a fantastic Yorker, and you could see what that meant to Brady Whiteman.
Yeah, and look, just a couple of moments, and I think they'd like back. That was a good catch by Smith, but it came after a drop of Buttery. That cost him 1 run. Really, everyone would be crucial. Yassine, we really made the most of that cross breeze as he launched bomb after bomb into the jungle on the leg side. When it came down to it, any score would win it. And yeah, this one, well, whether it was 1 or whether it was 6, it's irrelevant because it is another victory for Pakai Care. And, well, this is the kind of excitement that we've come to expect on the European Cricket Network. You won't see this kind of cricket anywhere else on the planet. It's Pakai Care, who once again beat Tunbridge Wells and beat them twice in this championship week. But really, you have a feeling these two will meet tomorrow, and that's when really all the chocolates will be on the line.
Yeah, absolutely, yes. We have a look at that scorecard. Well, that's a bit more like it, isn't it? If you're a Pakai Care Banalona supporter, player, fan, whatever you want. Mohamed Babar, he's back to his best, 37-30. Good to see he was standing up there at the end. And Mohamed Yassine, aren't they happy to have him back in contention and fit? 36 of 14 he made. You can see just how important those two are. With the bowling, well, there was wickets for Bailey Whiteman, 1 for 23 from him, and Smith bowled really well there as well. Don't forget that over, the first over from Barker, that only went for 4 runs, but it was Pakai Care Banalona that held their nerve. Maybe they had a bit of fortune go their way, maybe they had a little bit of the rub of the green. Well, they certainly had the wind blowing in the right direction for the left-hander, but he made it count. That was the important thing. Mohamed Yassine, 36 of just 14 deliveries. Surely that will probably earn him the player of the match award.
Yeah, I mean, that's two contests between these two teams, and both times it's just been 1 run in it. So it just shows you it doesn't get much closer than that. We did get a golden ball, we did get a lot of entertainment, and it's coming back on the top of the hour. We're back on schedule now, back in just a couple of minutes with more cricket, and it's a good chance for us to see exactly how this top 4 will be shaped. And cricket will just keep on coming. You can see that will be starting approximately 6 minutes. It'll be the Italian champs, Italy, and it's a bit of a swan song for Albi Zombie, but I'm sure they would love to walk away with some points from Championship Week. That's their final. Join us then, Vinny Sander, Mr. Maximo, alongside Rico Full, and a special guest coming as well for a little cameo. And you're watching ECN. This is the Big Bet to Ball European Cricket League. Hello and welcome back to the European Cricket League, presented to you by Petroball and Keeper Inu. It's the Champions League of European Cricket. 30 teams started out their journey, and across 6 weeks we have narrowed it now to the final clubs here in Championship Week. And Albie's Army, we know that they unfortunately won't be progressing to finals day tomorrow, but there are still 4 clubs that have ambitions of lifting the trophy, including their opponents in this game, Brescia ECC, 3-3 record. Albie's Army, this will be their last match in the ECL. We know that because they weren't able to put together a win today. Look at the bat versus ball wall. Brescia ECC 53-46. Albie's Army just have struggled at times to put innings together with the bat. Late wicketkeeper change. We know that Ismail Zia will be in the 11, but he's injured his hand, so some people like Niazi will be keeping for Albie's Army. And no Rahul Khan in the lineup. Be led by Azam Khalil here in the 8th and final match. Ismail Zia is out there opening the batting. A bit of a change there, and Albie's Army, I know they'll be very distressed that they won't make it through to finals day. They have lost a lot of close matches. Certainly wouldn't say that they've been easy beats at any stage. They inspired us in their group campaign. They won their way through that group of death, Group D, in a dramatic final. They won with 9 wickets down against MSC Frankfurt, the German champions. And here's another man who's had a few issues today, Basharat Ali. He has an injured hand. It looks like he still has some tape on there. He would have had to get permission from the umpires and the opposition captain to be able to bowl with that left hand. Anyway, a few people banged up, but one of them isn't my co-commentator, Rico Full. Rico, welcome back, and looking forward to this contest. And Albie's Army, they'll just be desperate to take away some points, won't they, in Championship Week. Here's Basharat with the first ball to Sahibi.
Sahibi places out onto the onside, gets a single. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see just how much, if at all, that bandaging hinders Basharat Ali. I'm sure that's an injury he's picked up while he's been in the field. He's taken some great catches, but you're absolutely right. There would have had to be permission from the umpires.
Goes after this, and this is miles in the air. But this 100%'s got a lot of ground. This one, he's going to have to dig out with a shovel, because this is a real plugger. Well, Zia finds the gap, and he gets 2.
Look where this ends up. I mean, Mr. 100% has come all the way around, and it drops probably 2 metres behind the fielder that does not move. Well, maybe a bit more than 2 metres, say 3 metres. That's quite incredible, and that's Javed Mohammed. It should have been his captain. Well, you see what's happening here. They're saying to Javed Mohammed, right, if you're not going to go for it, you're going to get moved. And it's going to be Akbar that goes there and takes that place. That goes a long way up in the air.
He didn't have time to stop and ask for directions, did he? But, I mean, it probably was his catch, and maybe Ahmadullah Safi calls it, but that wind is always taken away from him. Watch that moment for Zia.
Oh, this is a lovely shot. Shaba, Shaba, Balle. Well, somebody else trying to take a crowd catch there. Well, this one is Shapiza. Well, this goes all the way. 6 runs, lovely shot. And, well, Ismail Zia, he did show some class, didn't he, when he was batting in the group stages. Quite often, he was the man that came in and kept his cool and won them key matches. Now he's trying to get them their first victory.
This is nasty. I think it gets him on the shoulder in the end, but yeah. Always, you know, we talked about helmets a lot, haven't we, during this series. He advances on Basharat, who's not slow. And well, fortunately, this doesn't get him upstairs, but still.
But he doesn't get him upstairs, then he tries to get him downstairs. Bit of upstairs, downstairs going on there from Basharat Ali.
I like Ismail Zia about it when he just kind of stays in his crease and plays that shot really nicely. I don't want to hit over fine leg, but I'm not sure if advancing is his game. Oh, that's one way to do it. It's a fall down slap. And this one's going to go in the journey as well. Maximo. And this one, might have had his eyes closed, but it still went a long way.
Oh, Maximo, you say, Spagiza, they will say, this is big. But what a shot this is. Well, I was worried he's going to hit his own stumps there for a moment. Well, that is big. Que grande, que guay. 6 carreras, game on. In comes Ali.
Chops on very next ball. So it's a disappointing end for Zia, who Certainly an entertaining innings, but it'll only last an over as it becomes the first to fall. It's 15 for 1.
Yeah, this is disappointing because he showed signs, didn't he, of playing some exciting shots, but I think there's just too much adrenaline that's flowing through his body. He wants to absolutely cream this and hit it big, and all he does is he chops it onto his stumps, and I like that from Bashar Ali as well. That again underlines some of the sportsmanship that's been seen around the ground and between the players, and though there was a little bit of feistiness between the two, he gets the wicket, but he also gives him a little clap to say, hey buddy, you played some nice shots.
Yeah, he did, but he'll be so disappointed to go that way. Again, he's the future face of the club, Ismail Zia. He's inspirational to a lot of the children down there in Stockholm in Sweden. So, one Albi Zalmi batter departs, another comes to the crease, and no Rahel Khan in the lineup. And so, well, it's always nice to get a guest commentator in. So I do have someone quite special joining me for a couple of overs. I'll announce who that is in a second. Of course, big focus on youth at Albi Zalmi. We saw some of the scenes of their juniors cheering them on back in Group D. Yes, let's have a look at this ball from Javed Mohammed. This is worked around the corner from Sahibi. Just the one. Vinny Sandu here, Mr. Maximo joining me, special guest. Only 16 years old, but I've loved his work on social media. And he's been supporting Albi Zalmi. We've got Saf ul Wahab Ansari. Saf, welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you very much.
Now, mate, I've been following what you've been doing, and I'm going to ask you a few questions in a second about what it means to you. The Albi Zalmi are here representing Sweden. This one is a miscued shot, but falls safely. And they end up just getting one here. They were very slow to get going. Comical bit of fielding, but effective from Imad Khan. Yes, Saf, so explain to me what it's been like watching Albi Zalmi in the ECL.
Yeah, first of all, I'm happy to see them here because it's a very big tournament. It's competitive, and it's not easy because all teams cannot come here to play.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. I'll talk a bit more about the path Albi Zalmi took to the title, as this one's worked away nicely, and this one will go all the way. Maximo Sahibi has been a bit of a revelation at the top of the order. Just times this one off Javed Mohammed. It's always nice to see a Maximo, a Shipagiza, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I mean, Albi Zalmi, they had to beat so many clubs in Sweden just for the right to be here. And we remember back in the ECS, which was part of their qualification route, they actually qualified 4th in their group, so they went nowhere near the best at that point. But Albi Zalmi just have a kind of a habit of winning when it counts. So it'll be a wide. But I mean, as a youngster, I mean, well, obviously you'd be really disappointed that Albi Zalmi, they're not going to make it to finals day, but I'm sure there's a lot of positives still to take out of this experience.
I think everyone is obviously very disappointed, but there's a positive thing that we came here, we played well in the group stages, and now we are playing the championship week.
Absolutely right. This has just worked it mid-on. Has to get a wriggle on here, Sahibi, and he's going to be run out. Well, he made that look like a marathon, as he just seemed to be running out of steam as he got halfway through the run. It was a good piece of fielding. Still had to hit the stumps. Sahibi will be so annoyed about this. We'll have a look at it on the replay. Good clean pick up and throw from Ali Raza Islam. And I think you'll find he's not even in the frame. So, well, Albi Zalmi just have a knack of throwing away wickets today, and that's one that I'm sure Sahibi would like back as he falls 24 for 2. And a slow trudge off the field for that batter. But Asaf, tell us a bit more about your social media work, because that's how I've gotten to know you over the last couple of weeks, and you've been kind of tracking the tournament from all the way in Stockholm using your social media accounts.
Yeah, so basically I follow Albi Zalmi. So when I got to know that they're going to a tournament to play, I started to look for European cricket, and that was my first time actually. So then I saw the first match. I just got on the internet and searched European cricket and got to know a bit more about it. And yeah, then I thought it's a big tournament, so I should actually talk about it on my Instagram and Facebook channel.
Nudged away. So probably should be 2. I can raffle it eventually. Lucky number 2, Baba Hussain. That's the fielding. It will be 2. Yeah, I mean, that's great that you found that awareness. And, you know, one thing I love is that it connects countries. Otherwise, you never have an Italian club playing a Swedish club. And so I've really enjoyed some of your reports in Swedish as well, which I always think that's fantastic. Some of the language skills that you see on the continent. Quite amazing. So it really swings. I think this one's going to be okay. This one swings late. But I think at the point of the crease, maybe it was fractionally inside. But, this takes us to the end of the over. It's 26 for 2. And hope you're going well. It's Vinny Sandhu here with Saf Ul-Wahab Ansari. And yeah, I'm sure you'd be thrilled to be up here. I mean, it's a bit of a road for you. You've come probably a couple of weeks ago. You were freezing in Stockholm, right? You're only 16 years of age. And I think that's great that you're here. And what's it been like being at the tournament?
Yeah, it's pretty nice. When I came here at the stadium, I was like, oh, it's a big stadium. You don't see that every day. And the pitch, the teams and all. So it's a great experience.
Yeah, well, it's great. And certainly we hope it inspires you to go forward with your cricket as well. Maybe one day we'll see you out in the middle, Saf.
You hope so.
Yeah, well, I mean, we saw some of the scenes of all the juniors when the winning runs were hit in Group D. They were in tears. It meant so much to them. And I think it inspired a lot of kind of so-called neutral European fans as well to get behind the team. And look, it's disappointing that without a win in this championship week, certainly there's been a lot of close losses. That has to be pretty heartbreaking. Still plenty to be proud of. There's this one down the ground, handled by Ali Raza Islam, just the one. And so how about you? Tell me about your ambitions. Are you interested in being a player or perhaps just supporting the team going forward? I mean, you're only 16 years of age.
I've been supporting Al Bizalmi since I was young, because my father was in a part of the club, so I was also there supporting them. I saw the matches, the players, got to know them, and I had a good relationship with the players and still have. So yeah, that was the beginning, and I just saw the matches. I didn't play because I play football.
Right. Well, we'll have to try and poach you, I think. He's worked away. Says Sami Khalil. It's in there. How about someone like Azam Khalil, who's just facing up now? I mean, he's a bit of an inspiration to a lot of the youngsters at Al Bizalmi, isn't he? The way he goes about his cricket and the way he carries himself as a person.
I've always looked up to Azam Bhai, as I call him.
And here he is, and he's whacking for a single.
So, I mean, he's an amazing person, first of all. We all may know that. And as a player, he's calm. I don't even have words to describe it. But
he's a special human being, isn't he, Azam?
Yeah, he is.
One of the real characters of European cricket, and you know, always plays the game in the right spirit. Look, Saf, I'm going to let you go now. Thank you so much for joining us here on the European Cricket Network. It's been great to have you as a special guest in the commentary box. I'm wishing you all the best, you and all of your Al Bizalmi family on your journey, and hopefully we see you again in ECL 23.
Yes.
So that was Saf Ul-Wahab Ansari, who's joining me as a special guest. And now looks like you've got Asha Khan, who's going to take over the bowling. He's been really good with his left arm spin. Bizarmi still going at 10s. I think they'd want 50 minimum. This will be dragged away, just one. Got the Khalil's batting together. And Azam, yeah, he's done his bit, hasn't he, with the bat. So often he's been the one trying to hold it together while wickets have fallen around him in this championship week. And strike now. Advances, and this will just be one out to deep square leg. Asha Khan just doesn't seem to go for boundaries very often. He's very clever with his subtle variations. I just think it's always wonderful to get youngsters inspired to take up cricket and follow cricket. As we see Sami Khalil taking it down for one, as Rico Full rejoins me in the commentary box. And isn't it great to hear from someone like Saf, Rico? He's obviously been moved to take a journey essentially here to the ECL. That's all about supporting his team all the way to the Champions League.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant as we see this one played out. A lovely shot there from Azam Khalil. and gets himself into good position. Wasn't the best of deliveries, but it still needs to be put away. But Shakan just bowling this way down the leg side. I think he was trying to get a sneaky stump in there, but no, you're absolutely right. And what I love about that as well, so I like the way that he's saying to me, and he's told me that he is going to start playing cricket. He's already spoken to Azam, who's out there, and saying, I want to be here, I want to be on that field, and that is what it's all about, getting the youngsters to play. This one just dropped short off the fielder, and that's why it's so good. The European Cricket Network's project with the cricket's cool as well, getting the schools here, getting the kids not just to appreciate and play the game, but to also see behind the scenes of the game and get involved, because that's what we want to hear. More youngsters saying, I've been there, I've seen the cricket, whether they've been here at the ground or whether they've seen it on any one of the networks that it's on, to say, I want to be there, I want to thrive to be there.
Yeah.
And that's all fantastic.
It's fantastic, isn't it? And 40 for 2 after 4. You can see that we're into match number 18, the 8th of the day. British CC, the Italian champions, and Albi Zalmi. We'll see British CC again in the last game of the day. It's been the last we see of Albi Zalmi. They finished with a win last overtime. Ali Raza Islam with the ball.
It's played out for a single. Remember last time these two teams met, it was a very much low scoring affair, wasn't it? Brescia batted first and were 33 for 8. That's what they finished on. Albi Zalmi, you thought they'd get there, but they finished 27. So it was 8. It was a win by 6 runs, Brescia, and you get the feeling that this one could be the same, because Brescia, they haven't really performed with the bat today. So these are all valuable runs, whatever they can get in this last over. Try and push and get over the 50 mark. I think that's going to be a big plus.
Yeah, I mean, they certainly have a score to settle Albi Zalmi. They've had so many close losses. I'd like to at least finish on a positive. Really good shot, and he decides to wait. He picks up the slower ball and just times it perfectly. Not an easy shot from Azam Khalil, but he does get 4, and that helps the total.
Yeah, it certainly does. That's what they need to do. You can push on getting this to the 50 mark. That's a really, really good shot. When he has to play at it, a lot of batters choose to leave those and hope they're going to get a wide, and they don't. He plays that well. Good looking shot. Gets the result. He won a few more. 46. 3 deliveries to go in the innings. That's a full toss, but he doesn't quite time it, and it goes right down the throat of the fielder. And Azam Khalil would have hoped to have put this away. He doesn't. He gets caught. It's a nice catch taken there by the man in the deep, Imad Khan. And it's a wicket for Ali Raza Islam.
This sums it up though, doesn't it, for Azam Khalil and the Swedish champions. So close but so far. Probably 2 centimetres away from the middle of the bat, but it's more of the inside half. Imad has got a pretty good pair of hands, doesn't he? So what could have been 6 becomes a wicket. And we've seen him take some very good catches during this series. Azam Khalil will finish his ECL with the bat on 15, but smiling as always. And he leaves his team at 46 for 3.
Yeah, and there's no wonder that so many look up to this man. I mean, he's been an inspiration for cricket in Sweden, and not only just for Albi Zalmi and the work that he does with the kids. And the kids love him, and I know that there's plenty watching him back in Sweden as well, but he's certainly given his best, and he's certainly been the pick of the players for Albi Zalmi.
Banged in. This is a high, a top edge. As Kudratullah comes out, he'll just probably face the 1 ball. And so that takes him up to 47. Last ball coming up. Can they at least get a couple here and set 50 for Brescia?
Yeah, it's good to see that Sami Khalil has been promoted up the order. Hasn't really had too much of the strike, it has to be said, but nice, because he did hit the ball pretty well. Can he finish with a bang?
Yeah. It'll be a bang, but not the bang I think that Sami Khalil wanted. Ali Raza Islam, he'll finish with 2 for 7. Pretty good last over from him. And they keep Albi Zalmi in the end to 47 for 4 off their 5 overs.
Yeah, well bowled, and this is what you've got to do when you're bowling at the death, just get the ball full and straight. And Ali Raza Islam does just that as he picks up his 2nd wicket in the over, and he bowls well, and it's Sami Khalil. Well, you can't blame him. He needed to go for the big one, needed to try and get the boundary, to try and get the 50 on the board. But I can tell you one thing, even though they don't get to the 50, 47 is what they finish on. This will still be a close game, because Albi Zalmi, we know that their strength so far has been in the field, and they'll come out fighting. They will be running to get that win.
Now,
but there's a little bit of call behind.
To be fair, they call that a drop catch. I had a good view. It didn't carry to that man. And he certainly put in a good effort. But yeah, it was all about trying to hit the boundaries. Ismail Zia, he looked reasonable early. Yeah, fell off the last ball of the first. And Basharat Ali, well, very sporting, being pretty tough as well, bowling with an injured hand. This was just a bit of bad cricket really from Sahibi, who was decelerating when he needed to be trying to push to the end of that single. With Swedish flag. We last will see of them for a while. It was closed door policy in the dugout. But Azam Khalil, well, he's such a leader. He's tried his hardest. They may not take the trophy, but they certainly have won a lot of hearts in this series. Eventually Azam fell, just holding out to Imad Khan on the boundary. Then Khalil, he would go. The other Khalil, Sami Khalil, would go the last ball. Still pretty nice contribution from him as well. They ended up at 47 for 4. And, well, Rico, it's the kind of score that we have seen defended. In fact, a much lower score was defended when these two teams met earlier in the day.
Yeah, it certainly will be. A couple of, once again, there's these little things. I mean, we go back to Basit Sahibi. He's hit the ball really well. I think he's a talented player, but he's got to learn the basics. And one thing he doesn't do well is running in between the wicket. So that's one thing I'm sure someone like Azam Khalil will be working on him for sure, because when we see him again, I think as a result of getting the basics right, him and one or two of the others will be much better players. But the bowling there from Brusha was really good. Bashar Ali, despite going for a few, some good hits from Ismail Zia really, but he did pick up his wicket in the end. He was the most expensive, but all the other bowlers contributed, and the good bowling there right at the end. 2 wickets being taken by Ali Raza Islam, 2 for 7.
I think it was a good over from Sajjad in particular. Didn't allow a boundary in the third, just slowed things down. Single figures scored in the 3rd, 4th and 5th overs. Join us very shortly. It will be the last 10 overs. We get to see the Swedish champions, Albi Zalmi. They'll be trying to defend 47 for victory. Fresh CC, they'll hope to pick up the 2 points. If they're going to do that, they'll need a target of 48 in their 5 overs. Vinny Sandu here, Mr. Maximo, alongside Rico Full. Well, stay tuned. More cricket action just around the corner on ECN. You're watching the Bet to Ball European Cricket League.
Hello and welcome back. And beautiful shot that of this fantastic cricket ground nestled in between the almond trees and the beautiful countryside of Malaga around the Sierra de Cártama, which of course it is the Cártama Oval Cricket Ground. And it's it's been absolutely fantastic to be here for, well, this is well into the 6th week. Today, of course, if we went with what the original schedule was going to be finals day. But with the alterations caused because of the weather, finals day is tomorrow. And what we do know is that the team in the electric blue, Albers Army, are there playing their last match. This is the last innings. They've been unable to win a match in finals week. Well, are they going to be able to win this one? They've got to prevent the Italian champions, Brescia, getting to 48. And if any team can do it, well, Albers Army can, but they need to be at the best. They need to take wickets. They need to want it, and they need to believe. They did restrict Brescia to only 33 earlier today, but weren't able to knock the runs off. Can they put a similar performance in the field here? Here we go. Good shape on that one from Ali. Sort of comes in and moves away. Shahid Ali to Baba Hussain. Hussain, he is desperate. Well, not just him, but I think any of these Brescia batters are desperate to get back into the rhythm as well. They would love themselves to be able to knock these runs off convincingly. They haven't been convincing with their batting today. And this has been called wide. And tomorrow, when the going gets tough, the tough have to get going. And Brescia will know that their performances today, they haven't been anywhere near their best. They got that low scoring win against Albers Army. But other than that, they've struggled. By the way, the single here. They want to finish on a high. Remember, they will have one more match after this as well. So, positive win here if they can get it. Will take him into a difficult match against Tunbridge Wells, as this one has been played beautifully. And this is something that we've seen from Brescia. And here Baba Hussain, who is a talented batter, plays a lovely cut shot. And he gets this spot on. Look at that lovely shot there, courtesy of Spring Productions. 4 runs, beautifully done. But then, after playing 1 or 2 nice shots, they go and get themselves out. They can't be doing that. They've got to make it count. Ali, a little bit short. And Hussain gets plenty of bat onto it, but there is a fielder out there. Just gets the single. And, slight change behind the stumps as well. It's not Ismail Zia. They've gone with Niazi. So Niazi is doing the keeping. Albers Army, that's well bowled, taking the fielders on, and gets there. And once again, just he's overrun the run rate, so it's not able to come back to try and make the 2. But just goes to show if you back yourself. And both the batters have good communication. There's always a single there. Rico Full here in the house for the last time today, while I take the afternoon off and maybe find myself amongst 1 or 2 victorious. And alongside me, man who's got to work for the rest of the afternoon, Vinny Sandu.
I'm always happy to give you a breather. You've put in the early shift today, Rico. 8 games into 10. So, incredible workload. But I wouldn't expect anything less in this ECL. 9 for no loss after 1. Look at the table. So, I mean, Brescia, they could still finish top 2. But they need to have a really big win against Tunbridge Wells in their last game. It does look more likely that we'll see them in 3 versus 4 tomorrow against Brigade. Still, a few permutations that could play out. Yeah, I mean, let's just take another moment to appreciate all the hard work of the ECN crew and all the volunteers and the members of the local clubs, including the Costa del Sol Cricket Club, that worked tirelessly to dry this ground out over the 3 days. Woodside comes in, bowls a wide first up, but that was a mammoth effort, wasn't it? And it's a bit of a cricketing miracle. I think probably hard to put into words unless you saw it firsthand, but I'm just so thankful that we are getting our championship weekend.
I have to say, and I was thinking about this the other day, Vinny, that I've never been involved in a position where after so much rain, see this delivery, we'll touch on that again. Firmly struck, and that's going to be 4 runs. Powerful hit, and well, plenty of power there from Akbar. 4 runs to him, so that's his first boundary. Just trying to keep composed. You see both these batters, I think they need to be in good shape as they go into that final clash against Tunbridge Wells. Yeah, I've never known the ground to be so wet with so much rain, and then after 3 days of that sort of weather, be playing on it. I think it's a first for me.
For sure.
And as this one is played out to the offside for a single. And also, I've never seen so much commitment, dedication, desire from people to make it happen. I mean, out there with mops, with towels, with buckets, picking up. I've never seen anything like it. It's been a mammoth effort, and it will stay with me forever.
Yeah, there's a time where we thought the situation was hopeless, wasn't there? Yeah, around the middle of the week.
Nice shot, good shot for no run.
Yeah, there was a time when we thought, look, there's no way we can get this field ready for play. It's only because of the superhuman efforts of all those involved that we did actually get play underway on Thursday. And yeah, packed schedule, certainly taking a lot out of everyone, but I think it's wonderful that we'll get 20 matches in, and then we'll get our normal finals day.
This time to take on the fielder. It's a good pick-up. And gets the ball in quickly, but the batters, once again, good communication.
Looking back to the last game, I mean, Paco Care beating Tunbridge Wells again by just a single run. I mean, they are so evenly matched, those teams, aren't they?
Yeah.
Slightly different styles, but I mean, you can't argue about the quality of the matches we've seen from the top 2 teams so far.
Well, he charges down to take him on, and it makes it go high up in the air, and that is a great catch. Well, he's usually very good behind the stumps, and Ismail Zia just showing that he can take him without the gloves as well. What a good catch this is.
Yeah, really nice catch. This is swirling around. We've seen these drop time and time again today. And Osman Gerard comes from all the way over the other side of the field to congratulate Ismail Zia. Well, no gloves, no worries, as Albizami take their first wicket. And Brescia lose their first, 16 for 1.
Yeah, and good catch there. And he decides he's got to go for it. And he does, and he takes it cleanly as well. Yeah, and that's little indication there from the shot selection. You see, once again, now I don't quite understand that. I know 1 or 2 people on Corey Ruckets is another one that said he doesn't understand why batters move to the ball, because all you're doing is you're making it come quicker onto you, and then you're not able to control the shot, and that's why that one, if you stay in your crease or go back in your crease, you're able to execute that. But going out to the ball, it comes up on you quicker, gets up, gets you high, and that's why that catch has been taken. So once again, that's the sort of issues that Brescia have got. Well, this man, well, if he can get back into form, you know what he can do. And of course, if you're in doubt on what he can do, just go have a look at the final, the group final against Carlton and Duluth. Well, he went ballistic.
Last ball of the over.
And well, he went ballistic in that one here. He's close to losing his off stump. That's the end of the over. And it will be 16 for 1.
Yep, so right in the match at the moment, in the balance. And well, Rico, I know you've got the early finish today, but I know you'll be back for finals day. Keep abreast of what's happening in European Cricket by following our social media at European Cricket. And don't forget, if you watch on YouTube, to subscribe to our channel, ECN European Cricket Network, and also follow me at Mr. Max tomorrow. Thanks for all of the wonderful messages I get every day. And Rico's hit the Instagram now at Rico Full, and you can always get him on Facebook at rico.full.1. Thanks for all of your wonderful feedback. It's been a pretty long journey, this ECL. To think that it came from a 3-day event back in 2019 to already be 6 weeks. We went from 8 clubs involved to 30 clubs, and from 17 matches to 144 matches. It's quite incredible, and it's been wonderful to have people along on this ride with us. Who knows where it'll end. See, Alizar comes on to bowl the 3rd over.
This is a nice cut shot, but not for the first time. I was saying, placed it pretty well, but straight to the fielder. And they've got that field pretty well set to him. They're almost forcing him to try and play another shot, forcing him to go across the line.
Sure that all the neutrals, I'll be cheering on Albies Army here. You don't want to see a team go winless in Championship Week, and they've been so close so often.
And this is going to be a chase on for the fielders, but they're going to run and chase in vain. It's going to be 4 runs, a shorter delivery, but it's the line, the direction from Alozai. And just been helped along the way from Hussain. That was a gift to a batter with such talent.
Yeah, you called it. It was the line that Alozai gets wrong. He bowls that one well, but this time batter could easily turn on it, hit with the movement.
And this is a nice shot, and it will go to the boundary. Beautifully played, and Baba Hussain just there in those 2 shots showing his class. And he's tried this cut shot a few times and he's gone to the fielder, so he just gets his positioning right, rocks back a little bit back, and he rolls his wrist on this through the gap, 4 runs, and that's class. Sometimes it's power, but sometimes it's just pure timing.
Good shot selection there, and just shows this outfield still retaining its integrity. That one went all the way. Alazai with a reply.
And helps this one along as well, and it's not a good line. This one is too short down the leg side, and he swivels on this. It's 4 more, 4 carreras más. Que guay, que genial. Y esta hombre es muy fuerte. Bel colpo.
3 on the spin, and signals trouble for Albies Army, trying to defend a fairly modest 47. Now at the halfway point of this innings, now right on target, 24. Now with that one, it's 28. Alazai needs to pick up a wicket. Baba Zain is up and running.
Plays this one out for the man who's like mid-wicket to come and field. To be the single. So Dulu will get to face 1 in this over from Alazai.
Dula's an exciting player, isn't he? Decided to bat him at 3. I think normally you'll see him at the top of the order, but off the boil a little bit. Seems to save his best when it counts. His final day in Group C was one to remember. See if he can pull it out tomorrow. Right now he's facing Alazai. Last ball.
It's absolutely creamed this. What a beautiful shot this is. Through extra cover. And just showing his class as well. We're talking about Baba Hussain and Dulu saying, what you can do, I can Dulu too. 4 runs, nicely done. And you can see the quality in the pressure attack with the bat. Sometimes you're just surprised or maybe gobsmacked that they don't go on to score bigger runs when it counts.
I mean, it's a very low risk shot, isn't it? Still gets full value. That one smoked away to the boundary. 33 for 1 off 3. Now you need a good 4th over. Try and get a single digit over in here just to take it to the last over, because only 15 required now of 12 balls. It looks like it will be the hero of the Group D final, Usman Jabbar. He was the one that hit all of the last 7 of the last 8 runs. Batting at number 10. 10 and 11 got them over the line. Can he put them in a winning position here? 4th over.
Delicate. It will be fielded, and it will get 1 run.
Yeah, I mean, had a raft of close finishes today, haven't we? You'd imagine that when you have 10 overs in a game. They're such short games. And still set batters at the crease. I think that's what makes it hard to defend this kind of a score. But I often say, if the runs required are above the balls, the fielding team still is with a chance.
Oh, he's gone, totally missed this one. And fortunately for him, it wasn't straight. And, well, fortunately for him, the throw as well here from the keeper wasn't a very good one either. Gets away with it, and not a good bit of work there from Niazi. But that's why he isn't always behind the stumps.
I mean, Dula would have been gone here. Took an age to get going. He was particularly thrilled about the call from Baba Hussain. He says, no, I'll take the strike, thank you very much.
It's going to be a wide ball. It was an interesting attempted shot there from Hussain.
I mean, it's a good bit of side swing, bit of outswing from Usman Jabbar. But just, uncontrolled outside the wide line. They don't have too many more to give away. 12 required off 10.
That's nice. It's going to be work here for the fielder. Gets a foot on it. They take 1, and now they're looking for 2. And they do get there. It wasn't the best of throws, but it was good running. And Lulu showing that he's got a bit of pace and sprint about him when required. Chal aaja. They do kar liye, and they did it comfortably as well. And Hussain goes for the big one, but this isn't going to go to the boundary. It goes into the hands of the fielder, and that's a nice catch taken. And well, that's confident. He's saying, "I told you, if it's coming to me, I'm going to take it." And well, it's nicely done. And despite the situation that they find themselves in, they're still smiling. I like that. Shahid Ali taking the catch, and Jawar gets the wicket.
Yeah, it was important to hold it, wasn't it? And Albizami, again, they will have that raw disappointment knowing they won't be heading into finals day, but still they'll want to finish with a win. I'm sure all their supporters back in Sweden would love to take a win away as well. Baba Hussain, he batted well for 23, just a bit too under that one. Shahid Ali takes the catch. It's 38 for 2. 10 runs required now off the last 8 balls.
Imran Khan, who's coming out.
Hello to Imran Asif, who's in the chat. Always great to see you, Imran. Seems a long time ago. We had the Austrian Cricket Tigers here. Yeah, it was a long time ago. That's probably why. We've been loving our ECL experience. Imran Khan comes to the crease now. So we're opening earlier today.
Yeah, Austrian Tigers, of course, will know all about Tunbridge Wells. They're in the same group.
That's exactly right.
Well, Imran Khan decided that his approach is going to be swing hard, swing wild, and try and get these ones quickly. But I think a few dot balls here, and we go into the last over, anything can happen.
Yeah, well, we know that. I mean, right now, this is in the balance, I think. We've got new batter on strike. If you do get a boundary in here, I think it's advantage pressure. Last ball of the over.
Well, it's going to be a fortuitous one, or is it? No. Oh dear, oh dear. He does everything right. How does this go through him? Oh, there's something about that part of the ground. That is unbelievable. Well, Jabba can't believe it. The fielder, well, it's going to be Chaudhry again. He's
oh, man. I mean, he does so
he's
well.
having a mare.
He does so well to chase this down, and he just comes up with fresh air. That's it, Chaudhry. He's probably going to grab the ball and try and win the game for them, but he's made himself quite the task, as it'll be 6 off 6 required at the moment. It's 42 for 2 off 4 coming up, and a few questions about Mohamed Baba after he got his foot crushed in the last game, but he is in the lineup for Pakai Care Badalona, as they will play their last preliminary match against Brigade of Ireland, also their last match. This one starting in around about 15 or 20 minutes right here on the European Cricket Network. That's match 9 of the day, match 19. And the news is that Brigade have won the toss. They're batting first. I think Pakai Care will mind. They like to bowl first, so I think both teams getting what they wanted. Right, 6 to win off the last over. And Chaudhry, he's made his bed, now he has to line it.
Yeah.
Could start with a dot, but 6 required now off 5.
Remember the last time he bowled, well, he started with a wicket, then there was a single, and then it was boom, 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 all 6s from Chris Williams. Well, he's got a couple of dots in here. Well, how about that? Keep an eye on that. No, that's now 6 required for 4 deliveries.
I think Duke will be looking for a 6.
Hits this really well, but it's going to go to the fielder as I make sure he stops it. So hello, can they finish with a victory?
Here we go again, 5 off 3. If we do get a tie, then we're going to a golden ball. Have not had one since Group A. Golden ball 27 back on the 10th of Feb. Long time ago now.
Oh, wow, how lucky is he? He's well out of his crease, manages somehow to get a bat on this and to get a single.
How about this? So 4 off 2. This is where I think you probably take on a dicey 2 here. Everyone's valuable. We've got plenty of wickets to play with. Neither batter's really gotten going here. Chaudhry trying to win the game for his team. 4 required.
And, it's being played out for a single.
Here we go. Yeah, here we go. So 2 for a golden ball now. And 3 to win. Chaudhry, maybe it's a master stroke giving away that boundary, because it meant he got to bowl to Dulu. He had a bit of trouble.
Leave him alone, he's doing fine. Leave him alone, don't get inside his head. Oh, Chaudhry, well, I tell you what, this could be a bit of masterstroke after that boundary.
They love a close finish, Albies Army. Here we go, 2 for Golden Ball, 3 to win.
Oh, is it going to stop? No, well, that sums it up. That really sums up how things have gone for Albies Army. If there's one place that could have gone to the boundary, it was there. And but look, this is where all the shouting and screaming started when they were playing the group stages, when the ball went to the boundary. And on that occasion, it went to the boundary to assist them to win the final. On this case, it goes to the boundary to, well, inflict another defeat on them. They're not able to get a win despite all their efforts. But look, you got to love them, and we do love them. And though we're going to say goodbye to them because we are not going to see, well, we're not going to see them playing tomorrow at finals day, but I'm pretty sure that we're going to see them around the ground because they've been absolutely fantastic. They'll be mingling with the supporters and with the fans as the 2 batters from Brescia there make their way up. Well, well done to them. They go back to winning ways, but they've got a tough match coming up later. But look, everybody, look, it's the team Albies Army, the Swedish champions. They've entertained us. They haven't had things go their way, but they've been absolutely fantastic. And well, I'm sure that they're going to get a great big round of applause and cheers from everybody because they really are a superb bunch of lads. And the way that they've approached this finals week, the way that they've been so sporting with all the teams, we've got to take our hats off to them. We've got to give credit to them. They've been sensational.
Yeah, look, they have, and it's certainly been a journey, hasn't it, following Albies Army. This is what's coming up next. Pakar Badalona versus Brigade. Pakar trying to nail down that top spot against the Brigade side. It'll be desperate to take some winning form into finals day tomorrow. And yeah, Brigade, they will be batting first in that match. Not too far away, 15 minutes away from a start in that one. But certainly, you know, a lot of people are looking forward to that one. Another chance to see Kamran. And look, I just want to say on behalf of everyone at the ECN, to Albies Army and to the Swedish cricket supporters in general, it's been great to have you here in Championship Week. I know it didn't go your way, but I know that we look forward to getting to Sweden a bit later this year.
Certainly do.
We're planning a couple of series there in Malmö again and in Stockholm. So we'll spend 4 weeks there. I'm sure we'll renew those friendships. Although the disappointment, I'm sure, is probably pretty raw at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, remember all the highlights they've had along the way here, Albies Army, and the way that they won that Group D a couple of weeks ago.
I mean, listen to those applause, and they deserve them because they are a fantastic bunch of lads. Things did not go their way here this time, but they've left us with some fantastic memories in the group stages when they won that final, the group final. Then here, the way they played, with their approach, every time they've taken the field of play, no matter what the situation is, they've always been smiling. They've entertained us, and take it from me, they're going to get better and better.
No doubt, especially with their focus on youth. And again, to all you young Albies Army supporters out there, hopefully it inspires you to take your cricket to the next level. As we saw Albies Army attempting to defend their score of 47. They got so close, didn't they? In the end, it was not quite enough as they went down by 2 runs essentially. Palmer Hussain with 23, an important knock from him, and no one else made double figures, but they just did enough, didn't they, to get across the line, and they ended up winning it off the very last ball with a boundary. And Precious EC, they'll be happy with that one, at least to put some pressure on the teams above them. As you see, Dawood Saab bowled a good over, 1 for 7. Usman Jabbar as well kept his team in the game, and Chowdhury, well, he got so close, didn't he? Only 3 runs came off the first 4 or 5 balls of that over, but it was that boundary that unfortunately was conceded. It did take you back to the last ball of the 4th over. Rico, it's been great having you here once again today, and I know that you're going to get some rest and be ready for finals day tomorrow, because tomorrow, well, we are giving away that ECL trophy.
Tomorrow is going to be the big one. Yep, I'm going to be ready, and a bit of mingling now with the fans. I don't see what their thoughts are, where they think it's going to go, but yeah, we'll be here, back and ready with yourself and Rhino. It's going to be a great day as we have a look at the table there.
Yeah, and so still a few questions there. It does seem like Brigade, even with a win, it'll have to be a big one to sneak into 3rd, but it's pretty likely that the top 2 and the 3 and 4 stay the same, but we'll have to see. Still a couple of matches left. Join us in around about 10 minutes. We'll be back with more cricket. Andrew Ryan will be back joining me in the box. Until then, it's Vinny Sander here, Mr. Maximo, alongside Rico Full. Have a cup of tea and then join us for the last 2 matches of the day. It'll be Pakar Badalona, the Spanish champions, versus Brigade of Ireland. This is ECN, and you're watching the Bet to Ball European Cricket League. Hello to you wherever you're watching from around the world, and welcome back to the south coast of Spain. ECL 22 Championship Week action. An unprecedented 10 games a day, catching up and making up for lost time as weather intervened in the first 3 scheduled days of this final week of action of 6. 5 teams remain, and now really only 4 do have a chance to raise the trophy. Pack Care, Badalona, well, they're 5-1 in Championship Week. They are flying, taking care of Tunbridge Wells, the English, by the barest of margins a couple of times. Here against Brigade, the All-Ireland champions. Plenty of W's there, as you'd imagine. 2 champion teams. Pack Care being favoured by the supercomputer, 53-49. We've had a lot of close games, haven't we? So the wind picking up, but thankfully the weather has stayed away. And now we will get to see another very interesting battle, no doubt about that. But got some team news for you. We have Mohamed Kamran out of the side. We do have Mohamed Baba in the team. He suffered a crushing blow on the boot. He was dismissed in the last game, but they are continuing to play Baba. No Kamran. The Brigade, the Ireland champions, they will be opening up with Makata. It was pretty brutal when these 2 teams met earlier on. Vinny Sandu here, Mr. Maximo, to take you home. The final 2 games. Joining me once again is Andrew Ryan. Welcome, Rhino. And it's always exciting to see 2 champion teams go head to head. Let's see who gets the chocolates here.
Thank you very much, Vinny. Wonderful to be back in your presence again for the final 2 games of today. And it should be a nice little clash here. We keep on expecting Brigade to come and bring their best. They've been on the pace at times, a little bit behind at others. Good to see this man start to find a little bit of form, though. Graham McCarter.
Here we go. It's Hassan Ali, who's back into the side. First ball of match 19. Carter tries to go large, but he might have found the fielder, and he has. Shiraz Ahmed holds on. And Hassan Ali has been waiting a while to get another go. He impressed me with his bowling so far in ECL 22, but he's a victim of just a strong pace bowling options they've got. He gets a wicket first ball. It's a terrible start for Brigade as they lose the first wicket. It's none for 1.
Yeah, we'll talk about the fact that McCarter's found a little bit of form today. Brutal against Mohamed Kamran in the earlier clash between these 2 teams, but manages to hole out very quickly. He's back for a first ball duck, not the start the Brigade wanted. Pack Care team certainly feel like they've got some momentum in this tournament. They'll be certainly cock a hoop after taking down the boys from Tunbridge Wells earlier today. Those 2 teams probably feel like they've put a bit of a gap between themselves and the other sides as we've come to the latter stages of day 2.
It's got to be annoying. I know the players are kind of getting used to it, but to go out there, get out first ball, have to walk straight back. That's Carter. Sure, we haven't seen the last of him. So now, you can see Hassan Ali again. It's bowled with good zip. Just shows you the depth of their bowling lineup. Someone like Hassan Ali has been struggling to get a game. Andrew Britton, he's another one, the captain, who I'm sure would like to click, and I know the Irish supporters. They've had a long day, but a rewarding day, considering we didn't get a lot of cricket this week. The first 3 days, we had none at all. Now this is short, and Britton turns on it. This will go the distance. Maximo, the first one of match 19. And it's the Irish captain that steps up to the plate and sends his first one out of the ground.
Yeah, nice shot. Needs to get himself in a bit of form before tomorrow. Britton, talented player. Played for Ireland at international level, so player that they've come to rely on over a number of years. Experienced skipper. Gets himself off to an absolute flyer.
There's RT there. Memory of Roy Torrance, stalwart of the club, or RT, as they say. That swing up full. Gets the swing, just bottom of the bat. That's Britton to 7. A first chance to get a look at Murdoch. He's been pretty good at the top of the order, David Murdoch, since he's moved to that position. They're sticking with him in that opening role.
I agree, Vinny. I think it's strategically probably the best change that they've made to this side over the past couple of days. Get Murdoch as many balls as possible at the top of the order, probably behind McCarter. He's their strongest hitter.
Yeah, I mean, McCarter's a fixture up there, but they've chopped and changed a little bit. An opening partner. Murdoch does not get it past the fielder, and it is Asad Abbas. Another one back into the lineup. That takes the catch, just no timing there. So Murdoch, well, like his compatriot, McCarter, it goes very first ball that he faces. Early wicket trouble now. And I'm sure Brigade, that's not the start that they were picturing, as it's 7 for 2 in the first over.
Well, first ball ducks to both McCarter and Murdoch, having both your openers back in the pavilion in the space of the first over. It's not a recipe for success. Brigade, certainly a little bit of pressure on their middle order now. Much rests on the shoulders of skipper Britton. It's a disappointing finish, and both McCarter and Murdoch will be looking to atone for those twin failures when they get back up in the field tomorrow.
Got to respond to a question now. We often get questions in the live chat. This is actually a question from the venue. It's Reece Torrington who's in the crowd, and he's come with the Sir in English newspaper touring group today, and they had a question: how often is the ball changed? So I've got an answer for you there. If you're listening over there in the fan zone, the ball's only changed if it's lost or damaged during an innings, but every innings we will get a new ball. So it's one of those cases that, for expediency, if the ball gets lost or it's damaged in any way, we will change it. Apart from that, the same ball is used for the whole, I normally say 10 overs, but in this case 5 overs. New batter Ryan Macbeth comes to the crease. He can give them a whack as well. This is good over from Hassan Ali. Look, if you're not really in the preferred 11, you do get your opportunity. I mean, you can't do much more than what he's done here with 2 early wickets.
No, certainly not. You mentioned you liked him earlier, Vinny. He's a bustling pacer. Doesn't get a huge amount of sideways movement most of the time, but knows how to bowl a good lane, pretty straight up and down. Caused some troubles for Brigade in this first over.
It's a heavy ball, that's what we'd say. It does generate a bit of extra bounce. Okay, it's got 2 for 7. Last ball of the first. Get some bat on this. Probably would have been a wide, but I think instead it'll be 4. Shafkat tries to chase it down, but to no avail. And Macbeth gets off the mark with 4, and that's the end of the first over, 11 for 2.
Interesting, didn't feel like an over where 11 runs should come off it. Obviously helped along by the 6 first ball from Britain, but pretty good all-round set of deliveries from Hassan Ali. Brigade a bit into their middle order now. Have a look at the standings. Doesn't look like there's going to be a huge amount of change that's going to happen over the last couple of games here. Pakai Care, Badalona, still only the 1 loss across these 2 days. They will be feeling very confident going into finals day. And Tunbridge Wells suggest they'd also be looking fairly confidently, a position in the final. But the 2 teams that are below them, both Brigade and Brescia, they will have their own designs on making it through to the latter stages.
No doubt about it. Here's Mohamed Babar. Pitches up, it's driven. Well, direct hit here, I think would have been out. It's very slow to get going there, Britton.
Slow to get going, but he also deviated to the left, almost trying to avoid the throw. Could have had himself in some trouble if that had been a direct hit.
Some long days here. Even though we've only played second day. Fatigue setting in already. I think this one would have been out. It's talk about the table in a second. Wait for Babar. Just sprays this one down the leg side. Look, I don't think we'll probably see any movement there. It's not impossible that we'll see movement, but I think when I looked at the net run rates, that's probably the 1, 2, 3, 4 as it'll stay. But still, I think these are important matches. Just winning form going into the finals, I think, is so important. Tomorrow morning we'll see eliminator first up 3 versus 4. It does seem to me like it would be Brescia CC versus Brigade. All these matches very, very tasty indeed. This one beats the bat, it's inside the tram line. So no real foot movement towards the ball from Macbeth. That makes this one look a bit wider than it is. Clever bowling from Mohamed Babar.
Speaking of Babar, did cop that ball on the top of the foot in the last game. I'd have expected him to just have a rest, either sitting on the sidelines or maybe just taking himself away from the bowling crease. So he's clearly not in a huge amount of discomfort.
Yeah, man, it's good to see him bowling. At the fielder, I should get a fairly comfortable single here. Interesting that they will rest Kamran, but they haven't rested Mohamed Babar. I don't know if that's because of Babar's role at the top of the order. They don't want to mess with that, but Kamran himself bats 3. So I think maybe it's the fact that Mohamed Babar has a pretty strong personality. If you try to rest him, he may give you a few choice words about what he thinks about that. He's played every single game so far in this ECL.
Absolute warrior.
I bet it was suggested, maybe give him a chance to rest that foot, maybe ice it up. He might have said where he wanted to put his foot. But Babar's been an outstanding player. So contender for player of the series. Of course, we will have that award tomorrow. Just think of his contributions with the bat and the ball. fact that he's got Spanish champions right up the top. Former captain, Mohamed Babar. Hands the reins over recently to Shiraz Ahmed, but still, I'd say that he's their spiritual leader. Well, this is in the air, that's hanging a long time. He's a specialist, Mahbub, but this time he can't pull it down. He took an excellent catch running with the flight before. Wasn't an easy one, but he does get there. I think Mahbub will be disappointed he doesn't hold on to this.
I can't believe the Mahbub magnet has actually put one down. He's been so safe in the field and has taken some very good catches down in that third man region. Maybe just needed to take an extra step. Looks like the ball's just flown away from him. His best effort, but he'll be back up.
Last ball, the power play now. Mohamed Babar has only conceded 5. He run hard here, but this will be trapped, you could say, by Asad Abbas in the infield. 10-2 overs the score. 17 for 2. And once again, just want to say quick hello to all of you, no matter where you're watching from around the world. Vinny Sander here, Mr. Maximo, alongside me, Andrew Ryan. And Rhino, I was there, particularly with the Irish supporters. They brought a lot of numbers down. I want to say a quick hello to Mo Hussain, who's Iftikhar Hussain's son. He's 13. He's a very promising cricketer as well. I was having a bit of hit around with the guys, as well as Owen Reynolds, and they wanted me to give a shout out to Bernie Faulkner, who is a real clubman back in Ireland and at the Brigade Club, so thanking him for all his work. So big shout out to all of you, not only at the ground but also those of you watching from overseas and watching with interest, I'm sure. So hope you're enjoying the ECL, and the story is just beginning really.
And great to see Iftikhar Hussain contributing to the next generation of Irish cricketers. Could be a superstar coming up through the ranks, and no doubt someone we'll see playing for Brigade hopefully in latter years here at the European Cricket League.
Yeah, we saw some real talented cricket going on out the back in one of the breaks. And Mo is a pretty handy leg spinner.
He's half the player that his dad is. He will be a very useful cricketer.
Here's Atif Mohammed, third over specialist last couple of days. Starts with a dot for Britain. It's funny, this third over seems to be the one more often than not where players just lose a bit of momentum. Just noticing that over the last couple of days of 5 over matches. Maybe it's because the field goes back and it's not so easy to hit boundaries. Whether it's pace or spin, the third over, I think it's been the lowest scoring over. This one's probably fine as well. They just move slightly away from the ball. They're Britain dot to start the third.
There's a look of disappointment to the umpire. I think that's just pretty good bowling from Atif Mohammed. Got that lovely angle from the left arm that comes relatively wide on the wicket, but he's spraying it across the right-hander with his traditional line. Britain just trying to give himself room.
Yeah, that one was just inside. No problems there. So Britain doesn't really move towards the ball, so it's reaching. Probably felt like it was a wide, but it wasn't. Now this one goes straight over middle stump. Atif Mohammed, it's a bit of extra bounce. He's not a real talkative young man, Atif Mohammed. He lets the ball do the talking. And at the moment, he's proven to be a handful.
Well, I think Andrew Britton, the skipper of Brigade, was willing to do a bit of talking there. A couple of short ones from Mohammed, which he hasn't dealt with particularly well. Mohammed, he's got his tail up. No runs off his first 3 balls.
Not a comfortable place to be in a 5 over match with 3 dots to start the over. Atif Mohammed in again. And this time it's fairly tame looking stroke, but it'll fall safely. Just struggling to time up Atif Mohammed. Britain does preserve his wicket and gets a single.
Probably happy to be off strike. Wasn't coping particularly well with the left arm pace. And Mohammed, I mentioned on the commentary a few times, I think he's one of the most promising young bowlers we've seen at the European Cricket League over this 6-week sojourn here, the Cardimer Oval down in Andalusia, region of Spain. Very, very promising young talent.
Atif Mohammed, also very good fielder. Also pretty good lower order hitter. I mean, doesn't bat very high because of the strength of their batting lineup, but he's got a bright future.
See him taking charge, setting his field. I like it when young players take charge with manoeuvring the field placements, not just relying on the captain to do it.
Yeah, put third man back, mid-off up, I like that. Can't see him going over mid-off. This one's going nowhere, it's going to be out. And so he just cramps him with breath for room, gets him in a bit of a tangle. This one just pops back to Atif Mohammed, who gets some reward for stringing together a few dots. He got them dotted up, Britain, the captain, but it's Macbeth that ends up providing him a return opportunity. And good bowling. It results in that wicket, 18 for 3.
Yeah, couldn't agree more, Vinny. It's been an excellent over. In fact, probably one of the best we've seen across these 2 days. Really cramped him up for room there. Couldn't do any more than just poke it back. And yet another Brigade batsman going back to the clubhouse. And Latif Mohammed, he's got his first wicket. Still 1 ball to go. It's been a fine over indeed.
Latif Mohammed just keeps on keeping on. And one of the things for Pakai Care is that they often use 6 or even 7 bowlers in a normal T10 innings, so they've had to kind of settle on who they're bowling in a 5-over match. A couple of bowlers we don't always see getting over. One of them is Sikandar Ali with his spin. He was very effective early in the tournament. I haven't seen too much of him since. We saw him in Group E being a handful, but also I think it might be a bit of a benefit to them because going into the 10-over matches tomorrow in the finals, there's every chance they might have something that they haven't really seen before their opponents. So new batter there is Ryan Barr, one of the 2 Barr bros in the team.
Barr Bros sounds very imposing, and to be fair, both of them are fairly imposing looking young men when they come to the bowling crease. They need to do some work with the willow though. It's Ryan out at the crease at the moment, joining the skipper Britton.
And gets this one through, good pace. And that's an excellent over from Latif Mohammed. Keeps Brigade bats very quiet. Only 1 run comes off that over. It's 18 for 3 after 3.
Yeah, 3 overs in though. I mean, they weren't going at a particularly rapid pace after the first 2 overs, but Latif Mohammed has absolutely put the brakes on this Brigade innings. Run rate of 6 and over so far, which in these 5-over contests is certainly not enough. They need to launch a few rockets in this last 12 balls, and probably sits on the skipper to do the majority of that hitting.
Often you just see 1 bad ball in an over or something like that, or you might see it a tight first 5 and a boundary ball in the 6, but Latif Mohammed, he's giving nothing away there. It's a very, very good 3rd over, which has Brigade on the skids a little bit. 18 for 3. Well, Ryan Barr, talking about that catch he took yesterday on the boundary, left-hand stunner, then tripped the light fantastic to stay in the field of play. So we see Mochim into the attack for over number 4. Edgy and into the gap. Shafkat didn't want it, and it's going to be 4. It's the old Ford Escort across the line from Mahbub. Has to go pick it from the other side of the fence. Cuatro Cadenas.
Yeah, well, that Cuatro was a reason of a couple of fielders just somewhat running beside the ball for a little while, thinking they could catch up. But that outfield, despite the heavy rain from earlier in the week, is actually running quite nicely now. And
they were hoping they wouldn't have to bend down and pick this up. This is a tired effort from 2 fielders, really. So, how intentional that stroke was, but it was effective. This Brigade up into the 20s. This one might be a wide. It's over his head.
Trusted to bowl the final over, Mochim, last night, and Rico, who's obviously very well connected within Spanish cricket circles, noted that he's actually quite often called upon by Pakai Care to take some of the final overs of limited overs contests, and generally does it with aplomb. He's got a couple of good change-ups and generally bowls nice and straight.
And what I was going to say is Ryan Barr, you see their number 16, he took that catch yesterday. It sent social media crazy. He was getting compared to quite a famous cricketer. Slow ball from Mochim, patted away for 1. You'll see him take strike now, but yeah, he took that one-handed catch, and a lot of people were calling him Ben Stokes, not just for the one-handed catch effort, but just a bit of a resemblance with a slightly ginger tinge. Not a bad comparison, is it?
Welcome comparison for a left-handed, slightly ginger tinge, as you say, Vinny. Red nut, depending on which part of the world you're in. But
Firehead. All nice terms, anyway.
Very, very generous terms.
Rob Old just finds that hole outside the off stump, just inside the tram line. Yeah, but that has to be one of the catches of the tournament. It was one thing to catch, it was also super difficult to stay inside the field of play and not touch the rope.
Just talking with a few people in the crowd today, suggesting they'd love to see a video of the classic catches from the European Cricket League. There have been some absolute stunners over this 6 weeks.
It's coming. Don't worry, it's coming, Rhino.
Crowd demands they shall receive.
Up hold again. Mochim not afraid to take the pace off here. He's locating that ball. They're really not giving the batters anything to work with. So Brigade is struggling to get going at all. 11 off the first, but lost 2 wickets along the way. We had 6 off the second, 1 off the third. So over at the moment is 7. Still a couple of balls to go. Just not that flurry of boundaries that they'd want. Britain He'll be on strike now to Mochim. Edged and gone, and the skipper walks. There's a clever bit of bowling, I think just leaves Britton slightly. So Mochim again, good reward for a very tight over. This time he nicks off Andrew Britton. That's 4 wickets down now, Brigade 25 for 4.
Yeah, lovely piece of bowling from Mochim. Showing that you don't have to swing it a particularly long way. If you just bowl in the right channel, get a little bit of nibble, you can take the outside edge of the bat, and Britton's been done. All ends up. Really, really good over from Mochim. He's given his captain plenty of reason to keep him in the bowling attack.
Yeah, Mochim has been kind of in and out of the lineup as well. Him and Hassan Ali, similar experiences. But man, Pakai Care, whoever they bring in, they seem to be able to do the job. And Yassine's another one that's come in after battling illness for a couple of weeks. He won them a game earlier today as well. So a lot of depth in the Spanish squad. And it looks like we'll have a double bar attack. Bar Bros out in the middle now as David Barr comes out at the number 6 position. Yeah, but apart from that first over, we've only had the one boundary in pretty much 3 overs, and it's very difficult to win these 5 over games unless you hit a lot of boundaries.
They're just looking a zone at the moment, the Pakai Care bowling attack. They're very confident, but they've also just worked out their plans. They're executing them to perfection. Skipper's rolling the fielding changes very, very effectively.
Last ball of the over coming up for Mochim. It's worked away by D-Bar. They might think of 2 here. Oh, that's lazy cricket, really. Pakai Care, if I did have a criticism, sometimes their fielding's a bit lackadaisical. That'll end the 4th over with a couple. And Brigade, they need every run they can get at the moment. They're 27 for 4, the All-Ireland champions. As Pakai Care, despite that's a slight sloppy work, they're in a good position in this match. This is match number 19. Quite unprecedented what's been happening the last couple of days. 10 matches a day. All the matches just half as long. 5 overs aside. After this, we do have Tunbridge Wells versus Brescia CC. And Tunbridge Wells, potentially, they could find themselves back up at the top of the table. They need some results to go their way and margins to go their way. Right now, Adil Shafkat, he will bowl over number 5. And the Bar Bros, they need something magical here. If they could somehow conjure it a 23 run over or 20 plus, then at least they'll have something to bowl at. If not, it's going to be really hard work to defend this total.
They're going to have to send this little kookaburra on a few long distance flights. Well, there's one of them, 6 off the first ball. Ryan Barr sits deep in his crease. Shafkat just dropping a little bit short. Makes good connection and sends it flying over the square leg boundary.
We saw this with Yassine before, didn't we? As the breeze is wafting in that direction. There's a few endangered species in there because they've been under attack by the left-handers in the jungle. And Ryan Barr that is, starts with a Maximo. Come back from Shafkat. He wants the same again. Goes nowhere. Just gets tied up. Slightly slower, I think, from Shafkat. Clever length. And he does bowl a clever length a lot of the time. It's hard to go forward or back. Barr's got Maximos on his mind here. Tries. Slight miss hit. Doesn't quite carry. One hopper to Hassan Ali. Cleans up just a single.
Not a bad result from Barr, though. Might have thought he was in danger of being caught, but the fielder just sat in the boundary, took the conservative option. Just a single brings his brother on to strike.
Right-hand, left-hand combination. Despite being brothers. He's after him. Again, this will be another one bouncer. Now they think it's 2 on the fumble. Again, they will... Well, this could be out, you know.
Pretty lackadaisical running, Vinny. No sliding of the bat. Probably also needed a call from his brother that the throw is coming to.
I think Isan thinks he's got him here, and I tend to think he might have a case because I don't think there's a real grounding of the bat from David Barr. We'll have a look at this on the replay. They have gone upstairs for this one. You have a look here. Oh, I think he's just okay. If you go back, once his bat's in, it's in, right? So, well, I wouldn't say it's textbook running. It's a bit more of the kind of nudging the bat into terra firma. Not the technique I'd teach, but it's effective this time. Brings home 2 runs.
Very lucky he got that bat down in time, Vinny. If it had have been relying on the footwork, would have been gone.
2 to come. Tossed up and hit for 6. Maximo! Well, D-Bar, he saw the Maximo from his brother and said, whatever you can do, I can do, bro. So it takes him up to 42. Score in the 40s. See the pipe dream just moments ago, but they still have one ball left. Shafkat's gone for 15. Last ball of the innings. Works it. They might as well go for 2 here. Good throw, might have been trouble. Good one-hand pick-up. Throw not quite as good, and so they do get a couple. Brigade, despite being in the doldrums for most of that innings, they do have something on the board. 44 for 4. But you do feel against this strong Pakokep batting lineup, it won't be enough. Having said that, funny things happen. They have been happening in this 5-over contests, and it'll be interesting when we resume to see how Pakokep go about chasing these 45 runs.
Well, fortunes have fluctuated in most of these games today, and Brigade, who were really struggling after the 4th over, taking 17 off Shafkat. He's been struggling a little bit today, Shafkat. Hasn't quite got his line and length right. Punished in that final over. As we look at the highlights from the first innings, well, what a start. Graham McCarter, who's been in good form today, just pumping it straight down the throat of the skipper, Shiraz Ahmed.
Everyone wanted to touch Hassan Ali for luck because he was bringing it, and although he went for a 6 there, did pick up 2 wickets in that first over, and yeah, good return for him. Back in the side, getting both openers first ball. Pakokep, those early wickets I think had a big bearing on slowing the scoring.
Yeah, it certainly just didn't allow the big hitters of Brigade to take charge, and once the skipper got out there, he hit a 6 first ball, but then really couldn't either turn the strike over or found the boundary with regularity. I bet he got tied up by a very, very good over from Atif Mohammed, the left armour. He's found some form again and is looking very dangerous for finals day tomorrow. The Magnet Boob, he's been such a factor in the field. Didn't manage to string it together today, but that was an excellent piece of outswing bowling from Mashim, and he had the captain striding back to the dressing room. For Shafkat was smoked a couple of times over these boundaries here at the beautiful Cutham Oval to just give the Brigade boys from Ireland at least some sort of total to work towards. I don't think it's certainly not the number they would have been aiming for, Vinny, but at least it's giving them something to defend.
Yeah, probably 10, 15 short where they'd want to be, but that 17 of the last over just gave them a kick along, and with a good start, anything's possible in this second half of match 19. Britain top scores with 16, but for a lot of his innings he just couldn't quite get going. 20 came between the Bar Bros. They were unbeaten at the end of the innings. As far as the bowling went, Hassan Ali, I liked his over. A couple of early wickets, did concede 11 though. And you see it was 2, 3, 4, just single digits. A couple of wickets to Atif Mohammed and Mochim. But Atif Mohammed loved his over, 1 for 1, just gave nothing away. Shafkat, they got after him in the end, and that's the reason they got up in the 40s. And although you feel like it may not be enough, it certainly makes it a little bit more interesting. Light rain falling at the ground, we don't want to see that, but hopefully it doesn't stick around. Hopefully you do stick around, because when we return, hopefully we'll be watching Pakokep Barcelona. They'll need 45 for victory here in match 19. Vinny Zandu, Mr. Maximo alongside Andrew Ryan. See you shortly for ECN Cricket. You're watching the Bet to Ball European Cricket League. Hello and welcome back to the Costa del Sol. Well, it is the Sunshine Coast. We haven't seen a lot of the sun this week on the south coast of Spain. And it's just some light rain falling. It's just delayed the start at the moment. I think umpire's having a look, deciding whether they do want to start on time. So just wait for that kind of clarification as we're halfway through match number 19 of Championship Week. It's all 5 over contest in the round robin. Brigade have scored 44 for 4 of their 5 overs. Pakai Care, when we resume, are scheduled to score 45 off their 5 there to keep their winning streak alive. Any sound to hear Mr. Maximo alongside me, Andrew Ryan. And well, the good news is that the late rain is falling, but it is quite light. We know that the field has taken a lot of punishment from the weather this week, and we've got it in a state where we are playing reasonably comfortably on it, but hopefully this rain doesn't stick around.
No, and I don't think it will, Vinny. Surprisingly, actually, the light's probably better now than it has been at any time in the last 2 hours. We've actually lost a lot of the grey clouds. Just seem to be getting a few of those rain clouds coming over. As you say, it's a very light dusting of a shower. I suspect we'll be back on in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, well, I certainly hope so, but I think that the officials will be thinking as well ahead to tomorrow, the fact that we need to have this ground in as good a shape as possible. So, yeah, it's just one of those things, unfortunately. Now, speaking of tomorrow, we have our finals day, and we'll be back to tell over cricket, which I think is pretty exciting as well. Today we'll have our top 4 sorted, and look, 3rd and 4th at the moment. It does look like it will be Precious EC from Italy and Brigade from Ireland. Will be taking part in that eliminator, not confirmed yet. And then qualifier number 1, likely to be Pakai Care, Badalona of Spain, and taking on Tunbridge Wells. The winner will go straight through to the final. Loser will play the winner of 3 and 4. Now that's tomorrow, but right back here, I've got some good news, because I think the rain not necessarily heavy enough to halt proceedings. So just a quick look. I do believe we'll probably keep the 5 overs as well. So that's good news, isn't it, Rhino? And I think everybody wants to see how Pakai Care Badalona, the host nation representatives, go about tackling this target of 45.
Yeah, I think Pakai Care only know one way to chase a target, and that is full throttle. What I'm probably a little bit more interested in, Vinny, is the Brigade bowling lineup. They've probably been the Achilles heel of the Irish side to date. Got some good variety and some experience with the ball, but they just haven't been able to consistently perform in the way one would have expected with such a well-credentialed side coming into this event.
Yeah, I mean, Pakai Care, they don't seem to care who's bowling it. They have the same approach. And that's what makes them so dangerous, but also makes them a little bit fragile on occasions. We saw them that one blip in their Group E campaign that almost cost them their qualification spot. It was, in a sense, intervention of rain that played a bit of a part in their final story in Group E. And yeah, the good news is, players out there in the middle, I'm going to get going, and I think that Brigade, they'll be pretty keen to try and defend this. It's a good test, as you see, just light rain falling. Jack Hall is going to open the bowling for All Ireland champions from Derry in Northern Ireland. Charles Crouch to the Sheriff. And he says, time to play, boys.
Good to see a young man being thrown the ball for the opening over. Left arm. He was pretty keen to get out there, wasn't he? He was marking his run up as soon as skipper gave him the okay.
Here we go, 45 to win. No ball called. And this is going to go off the leg for 4 as well. So this is a bad start, really, because that won't even count as a delivery, and it cost them 5.
Well, time to take the positives out of it. He was managing to swing the ball back into the batsman quite a lot. Side on left arm action, but overstepping, probably just a function of this being his first opportunity at the bowling crease.
It's a good call from the Sheriff. Line belongs to him.
Doesn't miss much, does he?
All right. So yeah, plus the 4 leg buys, plus a free hit. And Mohammed Baba, who's on strike, not a man you want to give a free hit to. Well, fancy footwork. After all that, gets no contact, so getting out of a bit of a jam there, Hall.
Good to see a smile on his face too, Vinny. You could see that sigh of relief when the ball ended up going through to the keeper. He was a happy young man.
Baba, too clever by half, getting his steps in. Maybe batting with a broken foot, we're not sure. Emptied a couple of cans of magic spray, I'm sure. Just down leg side and quarter wide. Well, there's a little noise as it went past the batter, but umpire certainly didn't think it was a touch on the ball. So another extra, first 6 all coming in sundries.
Yeah, Sheriff was having absolutely none of it. Might have just brushed his backside, but I think it's a pretty reasonable call.
I think it doesn't. I think maybe a noise of bat hitting pad, but seemed to be a bit of space between ball and everything else. Again down the leg side. Hall's just got to straighten up here.
Takes an unusual deviation for a left-hander. He's actually running in quite rhythmically and then just turns a little bit to his right-hand side. Puts him in a little bit of a difficult position in terms of getting his action to flow through.
Yeah, it's a good point. Just not really getting through the crease at the moment. Maybe a bit conscious of overstepping, like he did in the first delivery. Well, gets this wrong, and this is dispatched summarily. Maximo was borderline for height, but Bubba, he wasn't having any of it. 6 runs to Pakai Care.
Oh, lucky that fence is still in one piece. Babar has smoked it to the boundary with some level of power. It's a great hitter on that leg side, and that foot injury doesn't seem to be discomforting him whatsoever, Vinny.
I've seen those called before. It's one that could have gone either way. Babar was brutal on it. Ready 13 off this first over. He wants to go leg side again, and he will, and he'll get 6 more. Says Mars. And this first over, an absolute disaster for Hall. 19, and we're only halfway through it.
Once again, trying to take the positives. That was a nice length ball. A little bit of shape back into the batsman. Unfortunately, this batsman just eats those sort of deliveries for breakfast. And Mohamed Babar, he's regaining some form with the bat, timing it beautifully, and has opened this innings with a bang.
Mohamed Babar does eat a big breakfast. And got under a run a ball already. Gets some length, and it's adios pelota. And Maximo, 6 more to Babar. He's not mucking around. They're already 25 as this over goes magical in the first.
Well, young Jack Hall, he's been thrown a pretty difficult task. The rampaging Mohamed Babar. He's sent plenty of well-credentialed bowlers over the boundary this week, but poor young Hall is getting a tough initiation. Left armour bowling with a wet pill. Difficult times for the young man.
Still 2 to come. That's a wide as well. This one doesn't really come back. Tough place to be at the moment. Of course, in cricket, once you're starting over, you have to finish it. And so Hall is struggling to get out of a jam here.
Just needs his captain to give him a pat on the back, tell him to take a few deep breaths. Good to see the young man get out of this over without too much more damage.
Already, he's hanging by a thread, 26 off it. Babar wants more, and he's going to get more as the first over goes supersonic. Maximo! I only need 35, only need 45, and they're already 32. We're not even out of the first over yet.
Well, with Babar, no intention to give his partner any strike whatsoever. Hall still carrying a smile on his face. Well, trying to find the best out of it. But as it is, he's being taught a lesson by the experienced and quality batsman that Mohamed Babar is.
Well, 39 is the highest over we've seen on ECN. Looks like Hall will avoid that, but he has gone 32 in total. And well, this one will be the 38, and this one is on the roof. It's over the roof. Big hit from the big man. Bubba takes 30 himself after his first over, ends up costing 38 in total. And just like that, within 7 runs of winning this match.
Well, that is barbaric. That is brutal hitting, teaching the young man a lesson. He'll certainly take away some memories of that first over when he faced the mighty Mohamed Babar. 38 runs coming off it, and that puts Pakai Care within very close striking distance of this total.
You can see here, this is the last match that these two teams will play, and it looks like Pakai Care, they will slow up top spot with a win here, because they just need 7 runs. The only thing that they can probably save them is the rain here if it was to get heavy. I don't think anyone wants to see that heading into tomorrow, so you've got to think about that. So just 7 to win. You've seen, well, he's watched it all from the other end. And so, looks to me like it'll be Ewan Wilson who will get a run. But for how long, we don't know. He's bowling to Mohamed Yassin. This one's going nowhere. And it's just going to pop in the quicksand area for 1. But that's the good news. The bad news for the Irish is that Bubba is back on strike. And he looks in a rush.
Looks in a rush. It's almost like he's got his car double parked outside the stadium. He's desperate to get out of here as quickly as possible, and I suggest he'd be looking at these medium paces from Ewan Wilson and is picking which part of the ground he's going to try to end this match with a big bomb.
Yeah, talk about hiding to nothing. Maximo will finish this. We're only in the second over. And game, set, match. Don't bother looking for that one. That one's gone a long way. Maximal. Only 8 legal deliveries required. Back-eye care. Well, if the policeman was to get him, they'd be pulled over for speeding because they've done this so easily in the end. Well, not even time to get the dancing shoes warmed up. And even despite resting a couple of their key players, they have really done a number on Brigade here in match 19.
Well, that's one of the most comprehensive victories we've seen, particularly in these 5-over contests. Mohamed Babar, I mean, probably not the best bowling he'll face during the course of these European Cricket League final days, but at the same time, you've still got to put them away, and that is a brutal innings. 36 off only 8 balls. His partner giving exceptional support with 1 off 1, but it was all the Mohamed Babar show.
Barely had time to raise a sweat, didn't he, Mohamed Babar? And look, it's not a 10-over match. It won't go into record books, but I mean, that 1.2 overs is essentially the quickest we've seen a target chase down on ECN. Because it's only a 5-over match. You've seen, well, he has a sense of humour about it. He top-edged 1 in that innings. And Brigade didn't really even have time to get warmed up, did they? As it was blink and you'll miss his stuff. Well, here's the highlights. You might as well play the whole thing. It started with a no ball that went for 4-leg buys, and then Babar took over. And a massive 38 coming off the first over. And by then, we're almost out of here.
Yep, there wasn't too much action aside from the first one, as you say, 1.2 overs in that one, Vinny, with 5-over cricket being minimised even more remarkably. Mohamed Babar only a couple of big strikes off hitting a half-century, but that was a brutal display of hitting, sending the Kookaburra to all parts. And well, if Brigade were looking for a stroke of confidence in advance of final day tomorrow, they certainly didn't find it in that contest.
Well, pretty good innings, really. He only faces 8 balls, hits 36, so he's going at 450 pace. And this is what's coming up. It's the last match of the round robin. Match 20 between Tunbridge Wells, the English champions, and Brescia CC of Italy. Starts in around about 20 minutes. And I know there's still some ongoing discussions around the ground about whether to put the covers on. It's very light rain falling at the moment. Usually the toss is that Tunbridge Wells will be batting first after Brescia CC skipper Callum Sajjad. He's elected to bowl first after winning the toss. That match will be coming your way in around about 20 minutes. We'll have the first ball just due to that early finish. It was quite an amazing finish, really, to match number 19. And Graham in the chat will rightly saying, imagine if Mohamed Babar wasn't injured, because we saw him take a nasty blow on the foot. Obviously, they say don't poke the bear. Well, don't injure the bear, because he came out angry and in a hurry. As Pakai Care chased down the target with plenty of balls to spare. And 1.2 overs required to knock it off. You're seeing just facing the one delivery, and he was involved in that 45-run partnership. Papa, he was just brutal, wasn't he? Extras costing Brigade, I think that's something to watch out for as well. But yeah, Papa with 6 sixes. So he actually scored all of his runs in 6s. So he scored 36 off 8. And there was that first one that, even though it was a dot to him, it was 4-leg buys. And then, yeah, just one other dot ball. So that's pretty clinical. And this gives us the opportunity to have a quick break, but we will be back in about 15 minutes. We'll keep you updated if there are any movements with regards to any delays, but hopefully we'll be starting on time. Join us then for match 20. Should be a good one between the champions of England and Italy. Always good when those two countries go to battle. Vinny Sander here, Mr. Maximo, alongside Andrew Ryan. Come back shortly for the final round robin match of this fantastic Friday. This is ECN, and you're watching the Bet to Ball European Cricket League.